Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Game Informer Show. I'm Ben Hansen, joined by Suriel Vasquez and Joe Juba.
Hi.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about today. It's the hot summer weeks, as they call them.
Yeah. Everyone calls them those hot summer weeks.
It's a good time to catch up on old games, but hell no, not with the Game Informer Show. There's games coming out. We're going to talk about them, damn it.
Yeah.
Some are old. Okay, we got first Octopath Traveler. Joe, you've been playing a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Early-ish impressions. I say that, but how many hours have you put in that thing?
Oh, God, like 50 at this point.
Okay, great. I hope you have a lot to talk about. And then after that, we're going to talk a little about Sonic Mania Plus, which is that weirdo expansion thing. We're actually going to encourage Brian Shea to talk about Sonic, which, you know, it's like, you're run free, run dash, run as fast as you can.
Yeah. You know how, like, on the Muppet Show, Animal at the drums is always just sort of on the verge of some monster breakdown?
Yes.
That's Brian Shea and talking about Sonic
But
all the time.
1,000 times more boring.
It's going to be like a reverse intervention, basically.
Yes, exactly. And then I think Ben Reeves is going to talk about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker a little bit coming out on Switch, which is a lovely little game, so we can talk about that. Community emails, then back after the show, we return to Jurassic World. Joe Juba. We took a week off, just enough to forget everything that happened in the first part of that weird audio-only adventure game produced through Amazon Alexa whatever the hell it is.
You know, the time off really didn't matter, though. I felt like I jumped in and just immediately immersed in that world again.
Right. So look forward to that. The conclusion, the grand conclusion. You won't expect where this one goes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy. Outside stuff I just mentioned, we should also mention that Defiance 2050 came out on Tuesday, which is like a free-to-play reboot of that Defiance game, which I don't know if you remember 2013
Was
very
that the one
well.
that was tied into the sci-fi show?
Yeah, they made that sci-fi show. It was Quantum Breaking before Quantum Break.
Ooh.
And so they have a free-to-play version of it. We have a new gameplay today up. Reiner wrote about it for Sci-Fi Weekly. You can check out impressions there. It feels like a game from 2013.
I mean, with a tie-in like that, that show's still got to be on television and popular, right?
I don't believe so. It wasn't
It was
even
like
one.
canceled instantly, I think.
Instantly. And I think people tried to do the campaign for Netflix to save it. I don't know how that campaign's going. Also, Earthfall comes out on Friday, and Jimmy Waltley's playing it now. It's kind of like Left 4 Dead style game. We did a new gameplay today video a while back of it. You can check it out, but hopefully impressions next week about that thing. Okay, here we go. Joe, Octopath Traveler. A lot of buzz, a lot of hype. You're an old school JRPG fan.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you think of this game. Octopath Traveler for the Switch, how is it? So far, because you're like 50 hours in, you haven't finished it.
This is something I should address right off the bat. Is that it's Thursday, and the review embargo for this game is lifted. So there are people out there who have scored it and are talking about it. Our score is not up. Our review is not up. I still need to spend more time with the game. It's a big one.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
Grain of salt.
That means that these are all like non-final impressions.
But after 50 hours, are you having a good time with it?
After about 50 hours, I am really enjoying this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's I like as someone who like really enjoyed playing like things like Chrono Trigger, things like Valkyrie Profile, things like Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Like it's in a similar vein to some of those.
Oh boy.
In that like it's not exactly like any of those in any way, but it's almost like you hear this call from RPG fans sometimes that's like, hey, I just wish we could go back to like the 16-bit era. I want them to keep making like 16-bit real like full project RPGs.
And not on mobile, Square. We know the game you're trying to play here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interfaces that look good.
Yeah. Or things, and like, so I guess the thing, like the best way I can sell it from that perspective is it definitely like has aesthetic ties to that era.
Yeah.
The development partner on it is Acquire, and they're like, you know, that's a studio that does like some good pixel art and stuff.
They also did like Tenchu back in the 90s and stuff. Like they're a weird old studio.
Yeah. But it manages to sort of harness that 16-bit look while still feeling new. It's not just like, oh, here's another top-down sprite-based RPG sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. What if there's a shallow depth of field and the contrast is way up and there's bloom lighting all over the place? What about that, fans?
And okay, you joke about that like that's some sort of like, hey, we're going to throw a bunch of like dumb visual tricks, but they work.
It works for you.
Like,
okay.
Like it's got a really it's just got a really cool. I really like the visual style.
Even just from playing the demo, that was sort of like a 3-hour demo that is supposed to lead into the full game.
Pretty generous,
basically.
yeah.
that was like a very striking thing to go into, of just like, man, this looks different, but it still feels like it is both a retro aesthetic, but also like with, all this bloom lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to dive in a little bit,
Please.
Mechanics wise. I know, because there are people who will say like, this is nothing like Final Fantasy VI, nothing like Valkyrie Profile, nothing
Just
like
because it
Persona.
looks vaguely like it.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are certain elements of the game that like tie back and remind me, like in its best moments, it reminds me of just some of my favorite RPGs of that.
This sounds like very high praise. John.
Well, there's more coming later, but
Okay.
I don't want to lead with the negative.
Please
here.
don't.
So things like, one thing I love about it is that it's a turn-based battle system. That's normal, but it gives me some like Final Fantasy VI vibes in that like each character has just like unique abilities, things that only they can do.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of RPGs where it's just like everyone has the same command list, right? Everyone has fight, magic, item. But in this one,
It's the 6 to 7 for the Final Fantasy crowd debate,
But in this one, it's the idea that even though there's a job system and people can sort of like share some abilities, there are certain abilities that are just like that one character can do that other people can't. So
Right.
it makes a difference who you have in your party. It sort of changes your approach to battle, and you need to shuffle who's in your party based on the circumstances and the story. And the story is partially what reminds me of the Valkyrie Profile angle too, because that's a game that's sort of told as you acquire party members. In that game, you sort of see the stories of their deaths told in like in a vignette, right?
Of their deaths?
Yeah. So in Valkyrie Profile, all of your party members are like souls that you're training for the afterlife. So
okay.
So they've died, but their souls continue to battle on with you, right? So Octopath Traveler is a little like that, in that like anytime you like start a story chapter, it's focused on one character and one of the 8, Octopath, and
The name makes sense.
yeah, I'm just saying. And each one is, so far been maybe about an hour to an hour and a half or so of just these they're just like little story chunks that you play through, and then that little chapter is done.
So how are you triggering the next one? I don't understand that. I just played the demo, so I'm still confused about the larger structure
so
here.
basically, the whole structure is set up where you have eight total characters. You pick one to start with at the beginning, but the whole like first chapter of the game is just going and doing all eight of the stories, and they're all the same no matter who you pick.
And then like the end of each chapter is them Avengers-ing up, as they say.
No, not well. So like that's actually one of my issues with the game, especially in that early chunk of it, is that the party members don't like talk to each other. So there's no sense of them like forming a team. So
There's no even like inter-character dialogue of like, here's the the hunter talking with the cleric.
not in that first chunk of the game.
Weird.
As you go later on, you get these little like an option to like press a button and see a very short little like what they call like what I think travel banter or something, in which like two characters have a brief exchange,
Like a Tales thing. Okay.
But like, so think of it this way: is that like you start the game with one character and you play through that whole like intro section with just that character. All of the writing, all of the scenes are created as if like for just that one person with you.
Yeah.
The scenes don't change after that as you acquire more party members. So it's like every one of those 8 original stories is just focused on that one character. And you can bring like other party members come with you into battle and stuff. But from a story perspective, it's basically like they're not there.
That has me a little worried about just the overall tone of the story. Because even like starting the demo, I got a quote here. The first line of the game is, "It had ill behooven me to leave without bidding my favorite prentice a fare thee well."
Yeah.
Did you choose the hunter?
I did.
Yeah, you obviously did. So like that's it's so weird how like it could start you off on the wrong foot, because like I started with the thief.
Okay.
And then because of the way the world is laid out, is like I sort of went clockwise around the world, and the next party member I encountered was the hunter, I think.
Okay.
And got to that dialogue in that village and was like, this sucks.
But that's not the entire game?
No, that's
Oh, thank God.
no, it's just that character just in that village.
Okay.
For the
Holy
most part.
God.
So-
Because I was flabbergasted. Because remember, Cyril, you had mentioned in a previous podcast where like, I don't know, some of the Shakespearean stuff, it feels like it's a bit much at times. And I played this like, this is just waterboarding me with this Shakespearean text. Like, this is way too much.
No, you didn't like the waterboarding?
Like that overblown stuff is very particular to that one.
Okay,
to that
great
one
to
character.
hear.
But that's not to say that everything else outside of that is like sounds totally natural and great.
But the larger story, it works because like with this structure, I think it's tough to like structure an impactful arc for all these characters, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So that's I guess again like getting to sort of what at this point in my playthrough is still like kind of a I guess I'm not really digging is that all of the stories are separate. Like they've said, I read an interview or something where they said that the stories do sort of like come together eventually.
Okay.
I'm not to the point where they do. So
But it's not that they're separate. They're technically together, but still emotionally separate is the weird distinction.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like the distinction is basically it is 8 different stories that you just have the same cast, the same like
Got it.
cast going through the dungeons and stuff. Like,
Okay.
but each of the 8 characters only like only one character participates essentially in each one of those like steps along the way.
Okay. All right. But mechanically, it's juicy. It's Joe Juba JRPG, not so juicy.
Yes. So this going back is sort
Yeah.
of like kind of the combat is sort of where I am drawing that like Persona reference from because it's very focused on optimization, I guess, in the sense of like, okay, you want to like weaken your enemy. You want to, I mean, it sounds like JRPG 101, but
Yeah.
like in this case, it's pretty necessary. The game is like, doesn't pull punches. This isn't some like easy thing. If it says like recommended level for this mission is 32, like if you're much under that, it's going to be a problem.
This ain't no Ni no Kuni 2. Did you think
Yeah.
of Persona at all playing
I
this,
actually
Ariel?
thought most of Final Fantasy 13 actually because of the way you have to sort of break your enemies. And then, now you've broken through their shield by using the correct weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in this vulnerable state, and now this is when you do all your damage. So
Okay.
we explained before that basically you build up sort of extra turns or attacks, basically, and you can sort of invest extra turns into one spell, which I see the Persona reference, but the idea of like, don't really hit them with everything you have until you've broken their shield with like the right weapon.
Yeah.
But one thing I do like that it does is that it displays sort of instead of having to check or whatever like you do in Persona, it automatically displays like here's all of the things that you've hit it with that it's vulnerable to.
Okay.
But one of the concerns that I had going in is that even with one character, it feels like you have a lot of options. And so towards the end of my time with the demo, I fought a boss that was like kind of like really hard because it felt like I didn't have the right party members for it just because I didn't have the right access to it. But
Wow, what was the character?
it was Ophelia's boss that I fought with the Huntress and Ophelia.
Okay.
And so I think it needed like a sword or something, and I didn't have any swords in that party.
Yeah.
Do you get into those situations a lot where it's like, well, I just don't, I'm not properly equipped for this because of the path I've chosen?
I think that you will run into times in that first, again, this is all just in that very early part of the game. In the first chapter, as you're acquiring the party members, there are times when like a boss will be weak to something that you don't have access to. But I don't think you'll ever run into a situation where you don't have access to anything that the boss is weak to. So it's like, yeah, maybe it's weak to sword, bow, and dark magic, and you only have a sword. Or maybe you just have the bow and the dark magic or something. So it's like there may be missing pieces of the puzzle, but I don't think there's a way that you can get into a situation where it's like, well, I don't have what I need to win this fight.
Right. Do you? How intricate does the combat get? Because even just with 2 party members, it felt like I had a lot of things to choose from in terms of do I want to save up my turns now or do I want to use this?
Yeah, you basically save up and like basically an extra attack will stockpile and then you can deplete that and use it whenever you want, and then it'll take a little pause. So should you just save those for the end of the battle? Like
no. So it's an interesting push and pull. That again, like this is part of what I really like about this game is when you get into the combat, how you use those points is situation dependent. So like if you have a fighter and you're going up against like a big tough enemy, you probably are smart to hold off until it's broken to do that. But there are also times when it's like, because each hit land with something that a boss is weak to, or any enemy is weak to, it sort of depletes their resistance by 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will run into situations where, like, let's say there's a boss that you have to hit 11 times before you break it. Well, you don't want to just do that one at a time. That's going to take forever. The boss is going to get more turns, going to inflict more damage. So maybe you spend some of those points to just like land 4 attacks at once. Even though you're not doing the damage that you want to do, you're at least
opening them up,
knocking down that number and like opening them up for later.
Okay.
Or there are also things that, like, how you spend those points. It's not always just like getting another attack. It's things like, okay, this enemy, if I just use my normal like physical defense down ability on it, it'll only be weak for 2 turns. But if I buff that with some of those points, suddenly it's like weak for 6 turns. But then that character also has a passive ability that increases all status effects by 1. So really it's weaker for 7 turns. So it's things like that determines how you spend those points. And that also gets into the idea that after that first chapter, you also start acquiring secondary jobs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can mix and match them?
Yeah. So basically you get all 8 of the jobs to just assign. Like, every character can have 1 extra job, and each job can only be assigned to 1 character at a time. So
are they all as interesting as the hunter? Because I really love that bee stuff. I love just the Pokemon aspect of being able to capture these weirdos, then use their moves, bring them out. Even like using them around the town is so cool. Like a little provoke thing just to fight anybody you want with these bees.
Yeah, the hunter's pretty. The hunter feels unique. I mean, they all have interesting twists to them. Some are more interesting and useful than others, though. Like, I don't really like the apothecary. He's got this like. It's this mixed element of like, hey, I'm going to mix some items and something random will happen, and we'll see what, once you do it, then you know what it does, but it's a lot of trial and error that I don't like
guesswork.
burning turns on.
Yeah. And Cyril, you were the dancer, is that right?
No, I was the hunter and then the cleric.
The cleric,
Ophelia.
okay.
Yeah.
But one of the things I like is that, like, even like in combat, it feels like you have different options for, like, this character has a barrage of arrows that'll randomly hit targets, which is better on a target that has multiple, like shield health, basically, once you clear everything else out. So that adds like another element of like this particular thing I want to use on this character. But the party members both of them seemed like interesting, but I definitely felt like the Huntress's was the most sort of game changing, much more than like the cleric.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and the characters have different abilities. Like, some of them are a little samey, right? So, like, the cleric and who's the other one? You can basically you can recruit people to come and fight with you, the dancer. Mm-hmm. So then you can sort of like summon them to come help you in battle. But that's a very like similar. They're kind of 2 sides of the same coin. Like, it's essentially the same ability of just like recruiting a townsperson to come and follow you along.
Okay.
Or similarly, like, this isn't a battle ability, but like there's a merchant and a thief, and both of them can get items from townspeople, but the thief, you just steal them and get them for free, and the merchant, you have to buy them.
Boy, one sounds like a real hoot.
Yeah. Well, so
you have a reputation in the town, though, don't you?
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
They balance this by if you steal items, they have a percentage chance, right? So, I only have a 50% chance to steal this item, and you get like 5 failures before you have to like basically pay to restore your reputations in the town.
Okay.
But it's also totally like you can save scum it. Like,
right.
I got a weapon that, I don't know, I was probably like 15 to 20 hours in the game, and stole a weapon that had like a 3% chance to get, that is still the best axe that I have encountered in the game.
Awesome.
So it's like,
that's good JRPG.
And so, like, ultimately it makes buying things makes me feel like a sucker or something.
Yeah,
just like in real life.
But unless you don't, I mean, you also don't want to spend. I mean, I got that weapon sort of on a fluke, like really, like just a couple reloads. But theoretically, you could just sit there and like bang your head against that for 20 minutes, hoping that the random chance would give you the item you want.
Right. So at 50 hours, now you still have a lot to go. Does it feel like it's sustaining that length? Is there enough meat in them bones?
Well, so that's
He's looking at me, shaking his head.
So I like I was saying, like I enjoy the combat, and in its best moments, it sort of reminds me of these old games in very good ways. It also brings forward some grindy stuff that doesn't totally make sense to me. Because it's like it basically, the story, the flow of the game is about doing 8 chapters of a story. Like, so 8 individual chapters, and then the next wave of 8, and then the next wave of 8. And between those waves, I've hit this thing where it's like, well, recommended level for this is 40, and it's like, well, that character is level 30 right now, so I guess I just have to go grind.
Not the end of the world.
Well, it's not the end of the world, but it also is like, it's not. This game is not super generous in terms of how quickly you gain levels.
Okay.
So the grinding part, and again, that's a part of like old school JRPG design that was totally fine back then. But I don't see a reason for that to like still be around, right? Like just sitting there fighting monsters and grinding experience for hours so you can proceed with like what the game actually does. Like that feels like bloat to me. Like, So I've run into that. The only explanation I can think of is that like the game has a fast travel option, which I use all the time.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
So it's not like I'm running away from encounters, but if I'm on one half of like on one side of the world, I'm not going to spend an hour like just walking to the other side of the world.
But maybe they balanced it.
Fighting everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they expected that, added fast travel later. I don't know. But so to me, it's weird that the story, when the thing that's supposed to be pulling you along is like these individual stories and seeing how they unfold and intertwine. And if that's the draw, it seems weird that at the end of one wave of stories that they don't make sure that you're ready to like keep going with that there's just this like
artificial time, like sort of gating. That seems off.
Yeah. Music seems good.
Yeah, music's good.
Also, it feels like a really good game to play handheld. Have you been playing a lot of handheld?
I've probably done about half and half with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's I haven't noticed any sort of like degradation in handheld mode.
It's full 3D if you're playing your TV, but it's this weird 2D thing if you're playing.
Wait for the Digital Foundry analysis.
Well, no, but I mean, like on a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it was looked noticeably worse.
Oh, really?
If you were playing undocked.
Oh, okay. So, are you enjoying this game more than your time with Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
Oh yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Good game. You're ready to say?
Oh yeah. It's a good game, and assuming it doesn't fall apart in the sort of later chunks, like I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's sort of likes the games that we've mentioned here, is just is a fan of JRPGs in general. Like it's but it's long. Be ready for that too.
Okay, Stereo, are you gonna play this thing?
Yeah, I probably will. Like,
there we go.
The last JRPG I invested that much time into was Persona 5, so. My cooldown.
You just beat it last week, finally.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I am the first person to have ever beaten that game now. We can finally stop this lie.
You did it.
That's right. Even Joe, who reviewed it, didn't beat it for whatever reason.
That's not true, but go on.
I feel like I am finally ready for another JRPG, and this seems like it is hitting at the exact right time. So,
yeah, there we go. Okay, look for the review on GameInformer.com sometime soon.
Yeah.
Or sometime not soon. It's a long game, everybody. For now, do you guys want to clap out? We'll get some other jokers in here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. All right, bye. Hey, Brian Shea, Ben Reeves.
Hello.
Hey. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Governor.
Thank you. You two always come in pairs. I can't walk anywhere in the office without seeing you two playing games together, arm in arm, feeding each other soup in the kitchen. It's too much, y'all.
Our legs are chained together.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, wacky scenario we don't have time to get into here. But.
Save it for Extra Life. I don't know. Okay, we have a couple of rehashed goodness here to talk about. Let's start with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah.
So this is the Wii U game that everybody loves. And
people
now,
couldn't stop talking about it, so they had to bring it back.
I think it is kind of like that weird underdog camp where I feel like no one will object and say they hate Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. It's like, that is a solid, weird little offshoot from 3D World. I don't know if it's a holy lord you have to play it, but now it's on a console that people want to play games on. So what's your experience like going back to that with a new re-release?
I was reminded that it's still fun. I gave the original 8.25.
Okay.
I liked it. It's fun, like just a collection of like small, really like bite-sized levels.
It's
They
like
only take you
puzzle-
like 5 minutes to beat.
It's basically puzzle dioramas. You walk around with Toad and try and find all the
Captain
little...
Toad, please.
I'm sorry, Captain Toad. Find the stars there and call it good.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of like collectible gems and like extra missions you can do, like go back and defeat all the enemies or collect a certain number of coins. Like little extra challenges to complete once you beat the level. But like the levels themselves are just like super cute and like very dense with like stuff going on, and it's just like fun to explore this like one screen level.
It's fun to see like
around.
it's fun to see like Nintendo puzzle designers like boil their efforts down to just this tiny little cube, and it's like,
Right.
how many clever things can we pack into this microscopic space?
Yeah, so I had fun going back to it, and like this one includes a few new levels based on like Super Mario Odyssey. So you go back to New Donk City and like all your favorite like plant and fruit based worlds from that game.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
But you lose the 3D world levels in the process, right?
Yeah, they did cut like 4 levels from the 3D
that's
world,
really
which is
weird.
kind of weird. I don't know why, if they had to make room or something on the Switch card, or what their reasoning was behind that. 'cause,
Captain
like,
Toad is a notoriously large file.
Yeah, exactly. It's a weird thing.
Large file energy.
The new levels are pretty good. They're a little bit larger than the traditional levels, and took me maybe 8 minutes to beat instead of 5 or
Okay.
something. But I liked them. The new levels are good. You do have to like beat the game to unlock them, or you have to use the Mario amiibos. So
So that's what I brought in my wedding amiibos
Yeah.
for you, and that's what they got.
yeah, the Mario wedding amiibos specifically from Mario Odyssey.
Why
to unlock 'em.
was there like lipstick kisses all over those wedding amiibos, Jay? I was meaning to ask you.
I mean, you just
When I got them, they were clean.
Something interesting with this is like the original game with the Wii U tablet had so many like touchscreen specific controls of like, all right, here's this platform over here that you physically have to move around with the gamepad.
Right.
And it's interesting like checking it out on the Switch. I just played the demo just to get a feel for it, but if you're playing handheld mode, you can still do it and play it like it's a gamepad for the Wii U. But then there's something interesting where when you have it docked, then it just turns into like a little Wii cursor, and you're actually like aiming at the thing you want to move and then hitting like R
with
trigger.
your controller, which is it's almost easier to play it in handheld mode, I think, because I don't really like that having that extra cursor.
Yeah.
It's not as elegant as just touching the screen, obviously. I mean, it works if you need it, but it's I found it kind of annoying just having that cursor on the screen the whole time.
Yeah.
so it's kind of like the Destiny menu select thing,
That's right. Jason
Yeah.
Jones developed this UI for Captain Toad. Yeah, it's
right.
everything you need.
or Pokemon Quest if we want to stay Nintendo.
Please do. The other interesting thing, I think the game's solid. I assume the Switch version just as solid.
Yeah. If you
Okay.
like, the thing is, if you like the original, there's really not enough reason for you to come back. Like, there's a handful of new levels, but I don't think there's enough new stuff here to warrant a new purchase. But if you haven't played Captain Toad, I think it's a fun game.
And
I love
based-
that game.
Oh, good. Yeah.
yeah.
And based on the number of, just the sales for the re-releases from Wii U, enough people bought Tropical Freeze to put in the top 10s for the MPDs. Like, I think there is that audience that are just hungry to maybe replay, but probably play a lot of these great Wii U games for the first time. This is a
for sure.
good contender. It's in that camp. But I think it's interesting to think about what it might mean for the future, and this is where it gets dumb and speculative. But the game's also coming out for 3DS, we should mention, which is
Right.
cool. But I wonder if that means that, because this is built off the same engine as 3D World, and it's definitely the smaller, more bite-sized version of 3D World, but I wonder if it's kind of opening the door just on a technical level for an eventual port of 3D World to Switch and 3DS
I hope
at this
so.
point.
I really
Oh,
want 3D
that's a good
World on the
point.
Switch.
Yeah?
I love that game.
Do you want to gamble on whether that's going to happen?
No.
Reeves?
I bet it'll happen. Are you betting against it or for it?
I'm betting for it. I would
Okay,
bet within
yeah.
2 years that we have 3D World re-released. And I bet even on 3DS as the weird twist.
I can see it happen early next year, even, would be my guess.
I could see it happening this week.
You want to bet me on that?
Yeah, that's cool. So you're going to have a review on the site sometime soon?
Yes, this week. Might even be up by the time this podcast is up.
That's sweet.
One of 2 games I pre-ordered on my Switch this morning.
What else did you get?
Octopath, of course.
Oh, Joe Juba, turns out, liked it.
Oh.
I didn't know going in, but I'm
Really?
very happy. I brace for it. Like, if Joe hates this game, we're just going to get raked through the coals on YouTube. There's going to be some rough YouTube comments like, oh, no, he likes it. Okay. It'll only be medium rough YouTube comments. All right, this is doable.
Just because Joe, in general, people don't like him.
I wouldn't go that far. I think he's a very opinionated guy, and he's very finicky when it comes to his RPGs.
That's right.
He's a big systems guy, and it has to be just right.
It really is.
Brian Shea,
Yeah.
Octo not Path.
Octo
The Octo
expansion.
expansion, which is very confusing for Splatoon 2.
You're telling I went to Nintendo to play both of those games on the same day. It was very, very confusing.
What a nightmare in October at that. But it came out a long time ago. You just put the review up because it took a long time because it was really hard.
It is a difficult game. I called it one of the most difficult campaigns Nintendo's put out in like recent memory. I would say probably it's one of the most difficult campaigns I can think of since SNES that Nintendo's put out.
Really?
Yeah, it's maybe one of like the RPGs they've done, like Xenoblade or something.
I don't think so.
But I haven't played Xenoblade, so I don't know. But it's pretty challenging.
What about it's just precise platforming?
Yeah,
or just
it's precise shooting, precise platforming. Like it's kind of like a test facility that you're in. You're going through test chambers, like not like necessarily Portal style test chambers, but yeah, you're blasting like enemies at like super fast speed. Like you have to like grind on a rail while shooting targets, and like it's just there's so much going on, and you have a time limit on a lot of levels.
But at the end of the day, you gave it an 8.5.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I mean,
Okay.
I really love Splatoon's like the whole series single player campaigns, and this is like just like the biggest challenge, the ultimate version of that.
Okay. That sounds great.
And yeah, but my only disappointment was that there's a couple of new boss battles, but a lot of them are just reused versions of like the ones that you encountered in Splatoon 2.
Gotcha.
So in a year without a Call of Duty campaign, like this is really
Really, I mean, this
should
is
be
where
going.
shooters should migrate.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Okay, Sonic Mania Plus. This is a weird thing. This is
A very weird thing.
an expanded re-release of last year's beloved Sonic Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you think about Sonic Mania Plus?
So if you liked Sonic Mania, guess what?
Damn it, Shay, that's the most boring thing
I know.
to say.
So it's a good reason to revisit Sonic Mania, even if you already played it, because it gives you 2 new characters. It gives you a new mode called Encore Mode, where you just are kind of swapping between these characters on the fly, and if you run out of characters, like it's game over.
And they also like remix the art assets a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
art assets are remixed. Some of the enemies are slightly displaced, and there's
Did they smooth out some of the boss battles? I feel
They
like those
did.
were a little rough.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
they tuned the difficulty of some of the boss battles, and I've played through the vast majority of the levels in Encore mode. I'm at like zone 10 of 12, and yeah, I mean a lot of them I'm breezing through them a lot easier than I was in the first playthrough. Maybe that's because I know how to beat them now, but also I think it's because they tuned them to
And
be
you're
better.
such a really good gamer, right?
Obviously, just
Yeah.
pro. And there's also a new bonus level. Instead of the blue spheres from like the Sonic 3 games, you now have like a pinball, like a 3D pinball.
Oh, cool.
Sonic and Pinball together
Like
at
the
last.
first one?
I wish they would do like a full-on Sonic spinball level. I think that would have been fun.
I'm sure at some point they'll tap
We
back
brought this
into
up
that.
in the new Gameplay Today video, but
Yeah.
like Zen Pinball, come on, hop on that Sonic license and do that.
You've done every other license. Finally get to Sonic, for the love of Christ.
People would love that.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, like, this is only a $5 upgrade, and you get all this stuff if you already own Sonic Mania, which was $20 when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So help me understand this math, because Sonic Mania Plus is $30. So in
Yeah.
theory, couldn't I buy Sonic Mania for $20, then only spend $25 to get everything?
Well, then you wouldn't get the physical disc, you wouldn't get
Oh.
the art book, and you wouldn't get the fancy packaging that also has like a reversible sleeve to make it look like a Genesis game.
Oh, okay, so that's for the physical version. That's
Yeah, the
$30.
$30 is the physical version. It's the first time the game's been released physically.
How do you reverse a sleeve, a cardboard sleeve?
Well, there's actually like a jewel case in there. Not jewel case, what is it? DVD case where you just slide that out and then turn it around. There's a cardboard sleeve over top of the normal
Oh,
case.
you're talking about the case is reversible. Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Does that excite you, Reeves?
Yeah.
You could say that again. Okay, the star of the show, though, we got to talk about Mighty Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel.
Yeah.
Very cute.
So they have new powers that are new abilities outside of what Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles have. So Tails can fly, Knuckles can glide and climb. Mighty has like a downward smash.
Butt
that-
bomb.
Yeah, it's a butt slam essentially, but you
Yeah.
can like take out enemies nearby and like dash downward through like obstacles that are breakable. And Ray can glide kind of like Mario in Mario World when he gets the cape.
Oh,
It's
okay.
cool.
So you
It's
press
fun to see.
backwards and do that.
Yeah, you have to like kind of go back and forth to like do
Okay.
like a parabolic path.
And let me guess, they run real slow.
No, they are the same speed. They're
Really?
all the characters are the same speed.
Isn't that beautiful? And there were a million corrections. I don't know if you caught this. Because you're
Oh, I'm
like,
sure, yeah.
they go back from something. But it's
It was
a
Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah,
yeah,
where-
it's this crazy deep cut, which I didn't even know until this Sonic Mania Plus. But that's the joy of the fan service with Sonic Mania, is the idea that these two characters are from, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, which is an old arcade game that never came to the States that you played with a trackball. It was like Marble Madness, apparently.
What?
And these are like his buddies from 1993, this old arcade game.
Mm-hmm.
Sega Sonic the Hedgehog is what it's called, which is like
Sega-
one word. It's very weird.
And it plays just like Sonic the Hedgehog, where you're running left and right.
I guess like some weird
It's like
isometric thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never
seen
played it.
They should try and re-release it. Get anything support a trackball easily. Just like convert some old Golden Tee arcade machines. There's got to be some way to get this thing out there. I don't know, but overall, you're
What are
enjoying.
you doing this weekend?
Overall, you're enjoying this thing.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
There we go. Hey, you guys.
Hey,
Anything else you've been playing?
I've been playing a lot
Telltale
of
Batman.
Resident Evil 0.
Really?
Yeah, just randomly, because like I got excited about Resident Evil 2
Yeah.
at E3, and so I'm like, I should go back and play Resident Evil 0, because I haven't played that since it came out. So I've been playing the remaster. I still like it.
You still like it?
Still pretty good.
Okay. Is it getting you more excited for 2?
Yeah, kind of. It's like scratching that itch of like, you know what? I like that classic, like, is Metroid-ish, like here in 3D, where you go here, get this item, and it goes and unlocks this door.
Right. You love barriers in games.
I really
Step
just
1 barriers is always a good
Locked
time.
doors. Oh man, I can't get enough of those. Yeah, I just love the slowly like learning an environment and you're slowly unlocking the area. That something about that. I should just go get lost in a maze some weekend and
I can help you with that. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm making an arcade cabinet.
Oh, all right. I guess that's not fair.
But yeah, it's fun.
Also, I saw you were playing a lot of Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh, and I'm playing a ton of that. Yeah,
Ooh.
I think that game. I think Dantak's probably right on the mark with the review because it's flawed in a lot of ways. But
Yeah.
like, it scratches a niche for me that I really like. I just love raising the dinosaurs and yeah, I don't know. I haven't even seen the new movie.
That's
but
insane.
I've been playing a ton of this game.
I'm totally with you where I feel like I need to play more State of Decay 2. I really haven't sunk my teeth into it in a big way yet, even though like I dabbled a little bit over the 4th of July and it was very confusing because I jumped in and like 50% of the zombies all had like tri-corner hats. It's like, what is happening in this world? It's like, oh, that's right. It's some sort of like 4th of July event.
Oh.
Apparently. But like if you don't know that event's going on, it's just confusing for the State of Decay lore. But anyways, that's the game that I know I should play more of. But all I'm doing is playing more Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah.
It's just like the easiest podcast game. Tack is totally right. It's a lot of managing timers. It's a lot of like, all right, now the helicopter flies over here. Now the Ranger vehicles drive over here over and over and over
what are
again.
you guys playing on?
PC.
Okay, I got a PS4. I got a copy on PS4, and I just it doesn't feel as intuitive. I think a mouse and keyboard would have been better.
I'm playing with a controller on PC. I
Oh,
know it's
are you?
insane. Yeah, I really am. Where I think it controls great with a controller.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I only played like the first hour, so maybe I
Like
just
mousing over
not
and like
used to
building
it.
fences and all that stuff. That's fine with the controller.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I really haven't been too annoyed. Other than like, you know, sometimes with like some of the bigger islands like Sorna, trying to get from one end to the other, it's
Sure.
a little bit of a long scroll. And imagine just being able to pop over there easily with a mouse is better. But I dabble a little bit with a mouse and keyboard, and like I'm fine with the controller. I think it's great. Anyways, weird time.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Shay, what did you say you were playing?
I am playing a mix of Telltale Batman Season 2,
That's so weird.
and I'm actually liking it a lot.
Okay.
Like, I'm really into it. I'm 2 episodes deep.
That's the one that JV says gets really good with the finale.
Mm-hmm. And I
Okay.
actually think it's pretty good from the start.
All
Like,
right.
I thought the first season was fine. It was, you know, a standard Telltale experience.
I dropped off on episode 3, like most Telltale series, but
Yeah. You buy the
fine.
season pass and then you just don't play the
Yes,
second
I
half.
don't know.
That's every Telltale series for me,
They should
except
have
for a
that.
couple.
They should have that stat at the end. 78% of players
Well,
dropped off at episode 3.
You can look at that on Xbox Live if you look at
Oh,
like the
really?
percentage of gamers who have completed certain things. We should do that sometime.
Oh, that's fun. What else did you
Don't
say
tell
you were playing though?
Also, Hollow Knight on Switch.
Oh yeah, seems like people are having a whole love affair with that thing again.
Yeah, I'm not super far, but I'm enjoying it and hoping to figure out how all these systems work pretty soon.
Is it that complicated?
It's just like, all right, I died, and you go back to the town. How do I bring my currency back to town? Do I have to like actually go back to town without dying, or what? Like, I mean, I've literally played like 2 lives, so I'm not
wow.
like I just started it the other night.
Okay.
But yeah, then Overwatch.
It's of course. But with Hollow Knight, it's kind of like, if you don't remember that, it's kind of the spooky Metroidvania style game that Kyle really liked.
wait, there's some locked doors.
Yeah, you interested?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Ugh.
And it's on
Fun!
Switch.
I actually played it and I dropped off at episode 3, or 3 hours or something. I think I liked the idea and I never went back because it has this Dark Souls element of like when you die, you drop like your XP and you have to go run and get it,
Oh, okay.
which is cool. But I didn't like the map system because you have to buy all your maps.
Yeah, I
And
don't
it seems
like
like
that
that's
a whole
the
lot.
main upgrade is buying your map.
Yeah,
which
you
is
buy a
not-
map, and then you have to buy a compass that shows where you are on the map.
Huh.
And you have to buy your like markers, like here's where your save points are, here's where like points of interest are. You have to buy all
You have to buy the game.
Hey, oy vey.
You have to buy the locked doors. It's ridiculous.
And also, the last thing I'm playing religiously, Marvel Strike Force on iPhone.
Great trailers. Every time I see a trailer for that game, I'm always
And they
impressed
actually
with the
got
production.
Dave Bautista to voice Drax in that commercial.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
That's very odd. Do you really like that crap?
I am helplessly addicted.
It's just some free-to-play tap-the-screen thingy?
No, it's like turn-based combat.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and like you like amass a team of Marvel heroes and villains, and
What keeps you going?
I think just like
Every
the
morning.
constant drip of like getting new upgrades for my characters. Like I just unlocked Captain America, which is pretty cool. Like
they make you feel good?
upgrading him. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't buy it.
I don't know. It's one of the most addictive games I've played all year, as my opinion piece on GameInformer.com states.
I got into a thing. I played like Marvel Puzzle Quest for like 6 months when it first came out, and like just that addiction. Like you get into a game and you want to keep like upgrading things and like unlocking new things. And I reached a point in that game I was like, I don't think this cycle's ever going to end. I think I'm just going to play
not.
this.
Oh no!
And so like I broke that habit, and I'm like wary to start any mobile game like that where you unlock
100%.
That's just like a wheel you're on forever.
Yeah, do you really want to climb on that wheel? It's just not worth it. And there's games that I would think that I would like, like Hero Academy 2. But it is. Every mobile game, I just see the giant wheel, and it's like, there's no point. There's no point whatsoever. I've had Jurassic World Alive sitting in my pocket for so long. Like, I should like this dumb Pokemon Go Jurassic World crossover, but I don't want to step foot on that wheel. I refuse to play the game.
I mean, I'm not going to play it until the day I die, unless that's like today.
Prove it.
But I'm enjoying it in the meantime.
Speaking of movie tie-ins, and this is like, instead of playing good mobile games, even if they're free to play, what I choose to spend my time playing is last night I booted up Hotel Transylvania 3.
What?
They made a movie tie-in game for Hotel Transylvania 3. Just slipped it out the door real quick. I've never seen any of those films, but I'm curious, like, what is a movie tie-in game from, Titus, I think is the developer, that classic old developer of...
It's pronounced Titus.
Oh, I'm sorry, of mediocre tie-in games. Very odd, where it starts out with, like, instead of a fully animated scene with these wacky monsters on a boat, it's just like screen caps, just like screen by screen.
No.
And I thought they were from the movie, but the designs are like horrifically bad. Like, there's a boat captain character that made me want to vomit in my mouth. And so it's like, I think they just like modeled these characters on their own, and then instead of fully modeling them for the cutscenes, just took like these weird stills. And then the game starts, and it's like a Pikmin clone.
Oh, what?
Where you walk around as Adam Sandler Dracula throwing little monsters around, and it's just Pikmin.
Wait,
on an
Adam
island.
Sandler's in that?
How bad
Yeah.
is the impersonation?
It's not bad.
Really?
I feel like Adam Sandler, especially Adam Sandler doing a Dracula, you could probably pull off. Like, Leo in the booth, what do you think that sounds like, Hotshot?
Well, Adam Sandler's Dracula?
Yeah.
What?
Dude, come on, look alive.
Goes,
Oh, I want to suck your blood.
Ew, that's
is that like the
disturbing.
Billy
What
Madison
did I
voice
do?
or Happy Gilmore
What
thing
did
you
you think
did?
of that impression I just did?
It's pretty good, man.
Is Hotel Transylvania the new Land Before Time series? It's just like the series that never dies.
It'll
and
never
keep putting
end.
them out, yeah.
And then eventually they start marketing the first one as like the original, the classic. Come get it before you forgot it existed. Come on, everybody.
Before the second one,
Yeah.
there was
Also, how long before Land Before Time gets a full reboot? Live action.
7 years.
7 years is correct.
Saying 4.
All right, pretty good. Hey, do you guys, except for Ryan Shea, want to move on to emails?
No.
Yes.
Here we go. And welcome back to Game Informer Show. I'm still here. I'm now joined randomly by the greats, the Mount Rushmore of Game Informer podcast, they call it. We got Sergio Vasquez.
Hi.
Spelled with a bunch of Z's. We have Ben Reeves.
The George Washington.
That's right. And we have Jeff Cork.
Mount Flushmore, I would say.
The do you know that
Very
originally
smart.
they were going to do like their whole half bodies on Mount Rushmore?
They wanted the whole, the whole thing.
Yeah, you can look up like early design sketches. It was very ambitious. And then they think they wanted their feet to go into the earth and kind of wiggle their toes as some sort of animatronic thing.
He wanted
saw
it to
that
be a
last
vault.
summer.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's fine.
For the first time?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like 1,000 years old. You've never seen Mount Rushmore before?
No, last I was there, it was just a big mountain.
No reason to come here or visit for any whatever reason.
Yeah, this isn't the Mount Rushmore I remember.
I saw it too. It was smaller than I thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Still pretty big,
It's
though.
still big. I'm just
Come
saying.
on, everybody.
But like you in video and like movies
Yeah.
and stuff, you see it's like larger than life.
Also, at this point, I'm going to go over there and finish Crazy Horse. They can't finish it. It's been, since my childhood, I've been waiting for them to finish that cool
Hey,
thing.
Hanson, I don't know if I want to go on the record, but is saying this, but I've heard some people say that appears to be a bit of a scam.
Excuse me?
I don't know. That's just what I heard. I would
other
never
people.
say something like
Well, because
that.
they're like asking for donations and then the money
It's-
just isn't happening?
Let's just say you can pay to you get in there, and then there's a documentary that shows very little about the who Crazy Horse is. It's all about this family that is working on this thing, and you're like, can I have some context? What is a Crazy Horse? Why are you
one
making this
story about
look like
Crazy
a
Horse.
Crazy Horse?
I'm looking forward to being finished. That and Star Citizen. It's
Yep.
the real race to the finale. Okay, everybody, these are emails. We have all of those conversation prompts from emails. No, podcastinginformer.com. People wrote in and said, hey, I got some questions for you, or I have some news stories I want some feedback on, or here's what I think about your podcast.
I know how you can make it better.
Exactly. Anything that makes the show better, send it into podcastinginformer.com. What do you
Emails
hope?
about Crazy Horse.
Yeah, what are you hoping for, Reeves?
I still want dreams. Tell us your dreams. Like stories
Really?
about your dreams that are video game related.
I don't like hearing about other people's dreams. And Jeff Cork, I think, is with me. But you do, Reeves.
Well, only if they're.
I mean,
video
we
game
don't have to
related.
answer them.
I think
If-
it's
if-
interesting. If they're boring and they don't make the show better, you don't have to read them. On
Okay,
the air. How
anything
about
that makes the show better. Whatever it is, podcastinginformer.com, we're going to choose our favorite person based on the email mainly, and then put a pin in where they're from on the big board. We'll honor their homeland. First email, Fred from Columbus, Ohio. He says, not that I expect this to get email of the week, but he says,
Okay.
he says, hey, I wanted to bring it up because the good goofing around about the ridiculous War Mastered edition on the last episode of the podcast really had me stressed out that you guys didn't mention that the Red Faction Guerrilla remake is called Remastered. Which, come on, why, says Fred. The Remastered edition is what they went with.
I feel like they could apply that to the Red Dead
Yep.
remastered as well.
Oh, that'd be fun, yeah.
Marston.
Which is not coming, but that would be nice.
Yeah,
if they-
because I mean it's right there.
Yeah, it is
Rockstar,
right there.
so-
I tried
layup.
booting up this Red Faction Guerrilla game because Leo is hyping up the multiplayer modes, and I could not get a game going on Steam. I don't know, maybe by now there's a bigger audience or something, but like a couple days after launch, no one was playing it, which was a real bummer.
Well, I mean, the single player campaign isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
why
all
people
still
play
there.
that game?
Yeah, I think so. But I was
think
hoping with the remastered edition that somebody would be on there, but nope. Anyways, Robert Medina. Leo, this is a question kind of for you, actually. They say, hello, GI. I'm enjoying the coverage so far on Destiny 2 Forsaken, specifically the 113 rapid-fire question segment. I have a few questions about this segment. When asking those questions, do you ever want a serious response? For instance, Leo Vader, when you asked Bungie to put Destiny 1 in Destiny 2, we only got them laughing for an answer. Are you afraid of posting a serious response from them?
Well, their serious responses for that kind of stuff is just like, oh, we like Destiny. We
Right.
worked on that. Destiny 1's a great game. And they're just not entertaining in a rapid fire context.
Right.
But I would be interested in them like seriously addressing those concerns for sure. As long as they did it in 3 words so I could keep it in the video.
Yeah, but like going in depth for why it's not conceivable to just slap all of Destiny 1 into Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
maybe
it's hard to answer that in one answer, like short answer.
Well,
too.
look, they weren't beholden to keeping the answers
they
short
were
in
not.
that video
Yeah,
overall.
that was
It's
a
all-
little long, and for my taste,
Are you judging
That's
Leo in
right.
the booth?
Are you
That's
calling
right,
it a
Leo.
scam?
You'd like to introduce our new video editor, Ben Reeves?
Please send me all your questions.
One
That
time.
interview was an hour and a half long.
Is that true?
We had it
Yep.
booked for an hour, and I think it ended up going for 2 hours with a break.
And the final cut is 16 minutes.
Yeah.
But good God, did you prep them ahead of time about like, let's try and keep this short?
Yes, and during.
They just would not do it. It was just comedy hour. There's some fun stuff in there though.
Yeah.
What's your ideal ratio, Leo, for like info versus comedy in the rapid fire questions?
3 info, 1 comedy probably.
Really?
Okay.
If they're moving really rapidly, I think that's good. Because you need to lull the viewer into a sense of security with the info and then hit them with a do you ever get lonely kind of question.
Right.
Right.
The
So
comedy.
you just like that skew was off for this video, or what?
It might have been a little too comedy heavy, but
Oh, you thought it was too comedy heavy. Sorry, I'm just trying to make fun of you. That's not working.
oh, got me.
Okay.
Real weird energy.
What is this energy?
Leo, do you want to just step outside for a minute?
To laugh at each other's jokes. Yeah.
How would you summarize the energy in this room right
It's like
now?
two camels circling each other. Who's gonna blink and spit first? I don't know.
Okay, maybe it's Austin. Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. Austin from Austin, Texas. Typo? Surreal thing? Who can
A
say?
little uninspired, Austin's parents.
It's true. All right. Hey, Ben and crew. I recently realized that Hansen has never written a review before. Neither has Game Informer's golden boy, Leo. That's you, Leo. If you could choose any game to review, what would you pick, Leo?
Oh, God. In the past, I could have reviewed it.
Do you want to
While I was
review
here?
Superman 64, The Quiet Man, Skate 4?
Oh, it's multiple choice.
I guess so.
Definitely The Quiet Man.
Do you ever
Because
think
I could give it a 10 out of 10.
do you think about reviewing games at all, Leo?
Sometimes. It's been, like, offered to me. Like, Reiner's asked if I was interested in that, but I don't know if I am. Maybe, like, one every year and a half.
Really?
I don't know.
What about Hitman 2? Would
Oh,
you
sure.
review that?
Don't open that door.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's the good call.
I don't want people to ask me to proof news stories, you know?
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Astriker used to review fighting games for us, which is really nice to have that expert before Cyril Vasquez came in. And he said he could mop the floor with Jason Astriker.
Have you
any
ever
day
played
of the week.
Jason
I
Astriker?
say that every day when I come in.
He throws the gauntlet down.
Instead of hello, that's what I say.
Yeah.
We've got the ring bell if you can mop the floor with Jason A. Striker. right
Every
outside
day.
the door. Bing.
Ding, ding, ding. He just attached it to the door at this point, which I think is a bold
No one
move.
used it before I got here for some reason.
Yeah. I have no interest in reviewing it. I hope I never do. And I think it's easy to dodge from my point of view. But no one's ever asked me to, but I refuse. I just refuse.
We just know.
I don't think it'd be fun. Anyway, Stephen Barrow-Turin writes in and says, close your eyes. The year is 2026. The Religion of Dan Tak has just erected another statue, and the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally upon us. Which version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake sells more? A one-to-one graphical remake like the Crash Insane trilogy, or the new imagining that Square Enix has shown so far? If those were both released, which would sell more?
Oh, they'd release them both.
Let's say this crazy
I
world.
still don't totally understand what the new version is. Like, are we assuming it's not like a turn-based strategy
I think
action game?
No,
I
it's
think
not.
that-
It's
they've
a,
shown a revamped combat.
yeah, it's a Kingdom Hearts
Oh,
combat.
okay. Apparently, I missed that.
Yeah, you should watch the gameplay
Are we
trailers.
sure, though? Have we really analyzed that
I mean,
video?
to be fair, I mean that was when CyberConnect was developing it, and they've kind of hinted and suggested that they are rebooting it a little bit along the way. But I can't imagine they'd go back to turn-based. Seems like Nomura loves that sweet action combat.
It's just going to look like Octopath Traveler.
Right. Hope you're happy with this. We put some tilt shift on Final Fantasy VII's polygons. Call it a day.
I mean, the one-to-one would probably sell better, right? Because all the fans are going to want to buy that, right?
That's like the true hardcore version, even if it's just lumpy and weird and kind of shoehorned together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it would be the better version, but I think it
Yeah.
would be the one that sells more.
I could see it selling more initially, and then maybe I think the newer version would have a longer tail as people realize, I could also play this game versus like, I'd rather just play the first one.
Yep.
Although if it played like 15, I'd rather it play like 7.
That's true. I'm with you, sir. I think it's a good perspective. Dominic C. Chucky, hello. Says, hey, Ben and crew. Dominic from Chicago here. Hello. With Just Dance 2019 coming up for everything under the sun, including 3 generations of Nintendo consoles, I'm really interested in hearing from Ubisoft devs about what it's like to still be working on platforms everyone has long since abandoned, like the 360 Kinect and the Wii. I refuse to believe this email. Did you guys know this? That Just Dance 2019 is coming out for the Wii.
What?
The original Wii.
Leo, does that answer your question about what game you want to review?
Sign me up.
All right.
Isn't that crazy? 3 generations of Nintendo hardware. Like, I assume like the Kinect for the 360, I could see that, but Wii is mind-boggling.
We got, like, when I first started working here, we got a package and it was like the new Madden, and then one of them was for the original Xbox. That was just super weird to see.
Yeah, because that would have been what year?
It was
2006.
2006, yeah.
Okay, just a couple years after it died, but still, like,
You're just like, wait, what?
I love those last gasps on the consoles. It's so bizarre when you look it up and realize, oh, I guess there's still popular games in like 2002 released on the original PlayStation. You know, it's just wild. But yeah, Dominic, anyways, he wants to talk to the developers about like what it's like to get that up and running on the Wii. I'd imagine their tech hasn't changed too much. I don't know if Digital Foundry is going to do the classic comparison of the Wii version.
I don't
versus,
think Just Dance is their game, but
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
it would be fun to. I don't know when that series is ever going to go away or when like a good time to have a retrospective on that series would be. But it is fascinating just how it started out as this little tech side project and ballooned into like a core pillar of Ubisoft business. Still to this day, I'd imagine it's just a constant cash cow.
Like, who are those guys that are working on it? And how do they feel?
Yeah,
about their life, you know?
We visited the development floor, which was just like a small room with a bunch of dancing. And we have it actually in a studio tour we did with Ubisoft Montreal. If you look up like on YouTube, in theory, like Ubisoft Montreal studio tour is for a Rainbow Six Patriots trip. You're on it, Cork.
Oh, yeah.
We actually got to check out the development floor a little bit. So if you want some insight into that, but weird world. Anyways, James Harling writes in and says, "Hey, Informers, I'm a massive fan of the Fallout franchise, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Bethesda's take on a multiplayer Fallout game with Fallout 76 later this year will look like. My question is, in the past, the Fallout games have taken us to American locations to explore. Would you guys be interested in seeing a Fallout set in a different country completely? I'm English, so I'm going to be slightly biased and give the example of London, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get outside of the US.
More than West Virginia?
No, let's just stay in West Virginia for the rest of the time. That's a good idea.
No, but like if you had to choose, like London versus West Virginia, the location of Fallout 76.
Oh, London.
You go London?
Yeah, I'd
No
probably go
question
London.
about it.
Yeah, I wonder if Bethesda has thoughts on that. I'm like how it's such a American franchise, like the core
A lot of
it
it has to do. A lot of the appeal has to do with the Americana sort
There's
of
that
like.
50s
so.
Americana thing.
Where I feel like it's like, yeah, you know, England has nukes, but you just don't think about it as much as you think about America's nukes. And maybe that's just because we're in the good old US of A over here.
Also, it doesn't matter who had the nukes originally. Now the world's
Everybody's got them.
Yeah, everybody's got them all over their bodies.
It's all over the ground.
Okay, let's see.
I think it'd be cool to go to like Italy, or like somewhere with like a lot of ancient like Roman ruins, and like you see all these ancient ruins on top of or underneath like other
a ruined
ruins.
Colosseum?
Yeah, just everything's ruined.
We built.
Can
we
you
built
imagine
a
what
vault
that
in
would
the
look like,
Colosseum.
guys?
It would be kind of cool. You get like, the ruins of Pompeii, people frozen in time next to like the new skeletons frozen next to them, trying to take a picture with them, like selfies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Or like the go-to example where every game should be set, like, let's see Tokyo.
There'd be a lot of interesting implications of setting a game about nuclear apocalypse in Japan.
You're
You would
right.
like to apologize?
I would officially like to apologize. Let's keep it in America, you guys. Bring her down. Anyways, Adam from Connecticut has an interesting hypothetical. He says, "Hey, GI crew, my question is, are there any games from E3 you'd just rather not come out?" I love it. It's so mean.
Yeah.
But I love this idea. Like, realistically, you can press any button and you can make these games not come out. I've always been in the camp of game on, let everything happen. Why the hell not? But did anything push you too far at E3 this
Well, you
year?
could flip it. You could be like, what is your biggest weakness? I work too hard. You could say, no Smash Brothers because it'll take up too much time.
Right.
can
It'll be
flip that,
too
but
good. I'll
be
laugh
too
too
perfect.
much and have too much fun.
I can't handle it. My thumbs will hurt.
So you want to drop a nuke on Nintendo's headquarters?
Jesus. All right. What about, the challenge round here. Ready? Reeves.
Yeah.
Gears Pop. If you could press a button and not have that weird Funko Pop Gears of War game come out.
No, I actually kind of want that to come out and
do
see
too.
how weird it is.
Yes.
Like, I'm working. I would probably nuke Gears 5 before I nuke Gears Pop.
Are you kidding me? Would you nuke Gears Tactics, the game that I don't think we've ever talked about on this podcast?
We are talking about it now. No, I'm a tactics nut, so I'm actually curious about that game as well.
Yeah.
I think out of the three, I'd probably nuke Gears 5, and not because I hate Gears in any way. Just I actually am kind of curious about those two weirdo offshoots.
Yeah. And who's developing them? Is it Coalition that's making Tactics? I think it might be.
I don't know. I thought I heard they were maybe making the Pops one as well.
Okay, but that's just like a
don't know.
mobile game, so I don't know.
I think the Funko Pop is just a offshoot of just corporate branding that has just come together randomly.
Yeah, nobody's making that. It's just
It just happened. That game just exists.
You will accept me.
I think Skull and Bones. Really.
You would get rid of
If
that?
it had to go away, I'd
Really?
be all right with that.
Why?
Because
You get it?
I get it.
You played it?
I played parts of it.
Right,
And like the new stuff, I don't know. Maybe not everything is for me.
I think it'd be interesting if Death Stranding ended up just being like 10 years of trailers and that was the entire Death Stranding project. That was a little ruse Kojima threw for 10 years while he was making something else.
Yeah, because are we erasing its existence prior to it just not coming out?
Right.
So it's just like being erased so we don't remember these trailers?
Yeah. It's just a story told over the course of 40 trailers.
Right. I see what you're saying, Cork. No, I think it'd be canceled.
Canceled.
Yeah. But Kojima could spin a cancellation pretty well, I feel like. In some
He's
ways
done
if
it
you want
before.
to.
They don't like my cool ideas.
I think I would cancel Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Just say that
Just
was the
be like,
finale.
Come on, guys, start over, do something new.
Preemptively cancel the Stranger Things.
Okay, all right. If you want to be brutal, that's on the new engine. I want to see what they can do. What about Elijah Wood's Transference?
I don't know anything about that.
That's that weird VR thing. Remember, it's like live action and bizarre.
That seems self-canceling.
Okay, self-canceling. Would you cancel? Here, ultimate test. Well, Elder Scrolls Blades. That's
Oh, good riddance. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Get outta
let's
here.
get rid of
Oh,
that.
wow,
Yeah,
all
that's a
right.
good one. I'm
Okay.
on board for that.
Command and Conquer.
Yeah,
Mobile?
I'm on board for that.
You would kill it.
Let's kill that one too.
Why?
Wait,
you
Cork,
hate?
do you want to take Blades and I'll take Command and Conquer?
Happily.
Okay.
Just tackle him in the hallway. All right.
Would you cancel The Quiet Man?
No, it's
No,
too good.
Greenlight 3 sequel.
The slightly louder man and the booming man. Tim
yelling.
Ferrara from Santan Valley, Arizona. Santan? You'll get one if you go there. He says, hey, Assassin's Creed... Oh, hang on. Cork, do we need to take a break? Is Cork laughing too hard at that joke? We can take a break. We can pause and cut if we need to. Cause
Yeah.
you good?
Just give me a second.
Okay, Taylor, let's cut. Let's come back in 30 minutes. And do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
It'll just be one hot, and it'll cut to him immediately back to him not laughing.
Okay. All right, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Cork, you cool?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, great. Ben and friends, Assassin's Creed Black Flag had a system where it would ask you to rate each mission when it was over. I thought this was ingenious at the time, feeling that the developer really cared what I thought. I had not seen this used ever again. Do you feel this type of system should be used again in games? And what is the best way to give developers our feedback without having to hunt down some website contact us links?
I forgot all about that feature.
This is fun.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of feedback, like, how did that affect development at all? Did those numbers come in and it was just like, boy, nobody likes any of these missions? Like, were people genuinely taking it
It was
seriously?
probably demoralizing because how many good reviews do you think they got? It's probably just people like crapping on it, right? People are all
You're either going to
willing
give like a
share.
blank 5-star review, or you're just going to be like 1 star to every specific type of
Every
mission.
chase mission, just 1 star. Cork,
Yes.
did they not have this for Unity? Because I remember the cover story. I think we talked to them about it. About how we like that system conceptually. And that's like one of the few games where you could get away with that within your fiction also. Because especially Black Flag, it was like, hey, you're testing this game, have at it.
Well, there's that survey too at in Detroit Become Human, right?
Right.
Which shows like how much did these choices resonate with you, and like the results were like 0%. Like at least within the first week of launch, people were posting screens from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wonder if it had a lot to do with them sort of that being around the time that they wanted to change the direction of the series of like, do people actually like the current structure of Assassin's Creed, or do we need to do something different? And maybe them realizing, okay, no one likes eavesdropping missions.
Right.
That's when they realize, okay, we need to change gears.
I want to play as
Origins.
a back.
What do you guys think about actually the best way to contact developers? Like to actually be heard. The contact us on the page, I'm sure somebody reads all those, but in my mind, it's like find the director of the game, find the people that are a little more boots on the ground, find them on Twitter in a non-creepy way, and then let them know your feedback. But only if it's nice. Don't be a dick. But I think that's a good way to actually get it in front of eyeballs, and I think all developers will check their Twitter.
Yeah, and it can certainly be criticism as long as
Right.
it's not like, hey, assholes.
If it's well thought out and well articulated and reasonable, it's
Yeah.
not just like, hey, I hate this. You morons. Why'd you remove my favorite gun?
To give you,
Unless they did remove your favorite gun.
Well, of course, then, yeah.
I mean, to give you guys an example, I've been reading a lot of the Destiny subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
Just for our cover story, and a lot of the sort of the very popular posts on that forum are specifically suggestions of like, hey, Bungie, they should do this should do this, and I feel like that being super popular just gives them the idea of like, maybe people do want this, but and of course you always have that idea of like, you don't want the game to be designed by committee,
right?
But that seems like a good avenue if you have a popular game that people read a lot about, then maybe posting on sort of ways where it could,
You're totally right. The subreddit's smart. Like I've been really into checking the Jurassic World Evolution subreddit.
Yeah.
Ben Reeves, you might be interested. It's a lot of like good photos that people are taking to that game, which is great to see. Like cool layouts of parks and stuff. And then like totally on the top, it does say like, "Hey Frontier, here's a list of changes we think would improve your game." Where it's like, remove one "Are you sure" layer from the "Do you want to sell this fossil if it's fully researched?" Like just like those little tiny details that totally seem doable and
Make
it's always fun to see.
Brachiosauruses happier.
Just make them happy.
Yeah,
just shove a
what's
tree
wrong?
down their neck
Yeah,
and call them
just-
good.
Stab them right through the heart with a forest.
The Brachiosaurus really love trees, and it's become this weird meme on that subreddit. Just like close-ups of their dumb faces, like tree.
And they're like nearly impossible to please. Too. You just give them the largest. You set them in the rainforest, and they're just not happy.
You call these trees?
What's wrong with these these tiny trees?
Damian Vines from Louisville, Kentucky. God's country. Ding, 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 ding. He says, hey, am I crazy to see Viva Pinata as a forgotten treasure? I adore the game, and its art style and gameplay system still amaze me to this day. Basically, I can't imagine that the game even exists, and I haven't seen anything similar since. Does anyone love this game as much as I do?
Yeah, it's freaking great.
Yeah, you're a big fan?
Yeah, loved it. That was like one of my favorite things when you could first install games to your hard drive on the Xbox 360 is the big ding that I had for the first couple of games is the load times were awful, even to the point of like getting into menus. That it would have like a significant hitch going between different things. And kind of installing it to your hard drive alleviated some of that at least.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So.
Do you think that game would hold up well? I never played it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the second one is better.
Party Animals?
No, that's the racing
Oh, really?
game. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Isn't it
Okay.
like Trouble in Paradise or something?
Yeah.
That sounds right. All right. And it's just kind of like a cutesy sim, right?
Yeah, it's really fun. You just kind of make your own garden and make everybody happy, and then the bad guys will come in and try to wreck
I
stuff.
remember the pinata names being very good because they were all like puns on food and stuff.
Oh,
They
really?
were animals.
And didn't they make a show for
They
a
did
little
have
bit?
an animated series.
Yeah. God, that was a blip on the radar.
I remember because that was like right when we started Quirk, and like I remember Jeremy went out for like a cover story or some kind of large feature, and he came back and he was like, "This is going to be the biggest thing in the world. Viva Pinata. It's going to be the next Pokemon. It's going to take over the world."
really?
Yeah,
It did fine.
it did all right.
Yeah. I know that, I think it was in the Giant Bomb interview with Phil Spencer. I think it was in that where he confirmed, like, yep, we're not working on a new one right now, which is a bummer. You'd wish some may get Frontier to make a new Viva Pinata. We've worked with Microsoft in the past. They're right there. Come on. Anyways, Terry from St. Louis, Missouri. He says, that's Missouri in parentheses. Gotcha. Thank you. I've been studying. He says, recently, there's been a surge of free-to-play games on Switch. Fortnite, Fallout Shelter, Pokemon Quest all hit the platform at the same time, and others like Paladins are on the way. Seems like Nintendo was leery of adopting free-to-play mobile ports for the system's first year, but that perhaps some floodgate has been opened. It's called money. No. If you could have any mobile game on Switch, what would it be? I would go with Five Nights at Freddy's, preferably a collection of all of them. Yeah.
Oh,
that'd
I
be a good
never
one.
even think of that as a mobile game. I guess.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
It's shocking that is not on more platforms, like that it's not on console.
Is it not on consoles?
Yeah.
That's crazy. They just released a new one on Steam, which is like build your own. Yeah, which is a weird mixing and matching and stuff. But yeah, that is weird. I don't know. Mobile games that you'd want to see on Switch? Some
Clash Royale would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I bet that could do well. The New Command and Conquer game, I'm really excited to come out.
Oh,
The
man,
Room,
don't-
put all the
Blade?
rooms on Switch.
Honestly, the Room is a
Honestly,
great
the Room is
suggestion.
probably the one.
Yeah.
I remember really liking Kingdom Rush. There you go. It's like this.
Oh,
that would be really
series.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Noah Niahe, hello. He says, hello, Ben and the GI crew. This is Noah from New Paris, Pennsylvania. Wait a minute, the Noah? God's country? Ding, 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 ding. First off, I wanted to thank you guys for picking my question 2 weeks ago. Oh, you're welcome. My friends and I laughed endlessly when you guys talked about Gravity Hill. People come from all over just to look at this tiny hill, believe it or not. It was really cool to hear someone talk about my little town. Anyways, my question. I recently beat Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and I was honestly blown away. I really enjoyed my time with the game, and although it's far from perfect, I can honestly say I'm glad I went back to finally finish it. So I know this is a little late, but I feel like I never got everybody's full opinions on the game and would love to know what everybody's final take on the game is this long after its release. Thanks, love the show, keep up the good work, and hope you had a wonderful Independence Day. We all
was
did.
great.
It was just the best. Phantom Pain in retrospect, have your opinions like shifted at all, or is it
loved
just
it.
second you beat it, you loved it and locked it in?
Yeah. I remember being disappointed by the way that it ended and didn't feel
Yeah.
completely finished, but I loved exploring that world. I liked playing as like a non-lethal stealth. I liked recruiting.
You hadn't like the
People-
systems, like the
I
mother base
loved-
building up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did too. Like I loved like everything I could like Fulton out of there. I would do that.
Yep,
Like,
the resources and everything. Yeah, it was super fun.
There were a lot of really good ideas in there. I felt like, in retrospect, I'm still kind of debating how I feel about the game. I still think it's, my ranking for Metal Gear is 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. But like, I feel like I didn't really engage with the systems enough. I feel like I need to finished scratching off that lotto ticket from Metal Gear Solid 5. Like the multiplayer competitive base building thing, it felt like such a big thing, and just to like ignore it is weird. I never got into the multiplayer, which also feels weird.
I can't ignore that. That's
Really?
But like the single player campaign is meaty enough where I don't think you're like missing out just because you don't do
No, it's so huge. So in retrospect, I think that I don't buy the fully unfinished thing. I don't know, like it seemed,
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it was unfinished. Like, it felt unfinished. You don't think it felt unfinished?
I think it had like that weird wonky structure in the back half, but I feel like everybody thought that there were like these huge plot threads that were just completely dropped by the end and never finished. I guess I never really felt that way. Like, some things were disappointing as like a huge fan. Like, even going back to our cover story interviews with Kojima, he was talking about, like, we asked him specifically about the timeline of the coma and when the L'Enfance Terrible project started and all that stuff, and he's like, oh, you'll see it in this game. You're going to find out, like, were there 2 comas or how this worked? And, is the project already started? And they didn't explain whether or not there were 2 comas in the game. So, like, those types of things, but it's not like they started that thread and then dropped them. So I felt more content by that story, I think, than most. Especially, I don't know, people, like, point a lot to that Kingdom of the Flies. Like chapter 51, was it? Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, they had that whole like cut chapter or whatever that people found that was supposed to dive into more about like Liquid and sort of his sort of him
and Psycho Mantis like building it up, and it's cool. But to me, it always just felt like that would have been the DLC if they would have got to that. I don't feel like it was lacking from the main game. Like, it would have been cool if it was included, but I don't feel like it's this crucial chapter in the Liquid Psycho Mantis storyline that wasn't.
I think in retrospect, a lot of that stuff feels like that ending was just unsatisfying, and people were looking for a reason of like, oh, this cut content, this is why this is unsatisfying.
Yeah, it could be.
Versus that it just not being a good ending for me, like for me personally. But even though I don't necessarily like the story of it too much, I think that first hour and sort of like the early hours of that game, I think are incredible.
Yeah.
And then like the rest of it is just, it felt like here's a amazing stealth game that the story of which I'm not super invested in, and I think it is still probably my favorite stealth game ever. In terms of how much, like, the idea of that here's this boss battle against a sniper, you can just run past it if you want to. Like, figuring out ways to circumvent parts of the design, like, I thought that was really cool, and just the way all those systems layered on each other, it's still probably like one of my favorite games of the generation so far.
And I feel like the ending's still pretty unique when it gets dark and there's some different tones, and then obviously some very impactful reveals at the end where it kind of like reframes some stuff. Like, it's weird and it's a little shaky how it squares with everything else in the universe, but at the time it's like, it's a fun thing to think about. Yeah, like, that's enough for me. I'm fine.
The thing that sort of disappointed me about it is just like, oh, here's this grand revelation thing, and it's like, what is it? How does this affect like the larger metal? It's like it feels like an aside of like, I could have gone the rest of my life not knowing that specific detail. And also the last mission I think is pretty rough.
I'm trying to remember what the last mission is. Without spoiling it,
you're defending from like waves and stuff.
Okay, all right.
I remember that mission being pretty tough.
I agree. Like, the story totally feels like a side story in a lot of ways. Like, the story in general is probably the weakest Metal Gear one, but I think gameplay wise is my favorite Metal Gear. It's a weird, like, polarizing thing. I think overall I agree with you. First Metal Gear is probably my favorite, but this one might be my second favorite.
So really?
Like, I really liked it. Yeah,
I'd probably go like 325 is my top 3.
Okay.
And plus, finding the tapes and having them set as your music for the helicopter is the coolest thing.
Oh, just the music alone. Oh, it's just amazing. And I remember, like, when people would mod stuff in, like, I remember.
On the PC, you could just put whatever song you wanted
people
on
put,
there.
like, the Curb Enthusiasm soundtrack every time the helicopter landed. That's so stupid.
I also had, like, the weapon customization that spawned, like, one of my favorite images is someone had on, for the PC version, I don't know if this was, like, a mod or a glitch, but it was a grenade with a silencer on the front of it.
What?
Yeah, like,
that's so strange.
I like that it's not just like it is just playing. It is in the world as ambient noise. Having Killer Mike's Big Beast play whenever I landed on a helicopter.
That's really good.
It's amazing.
So good.
America. Also, like, as much as I love those, I went through so many of those audio tapes, but I just could not get through Code Talker's, like, his voice. I like the burger stuff, like, that's the fun stuff, but there's so many of just him talking about language. It's like, I got it, Code Talker, I got it. And that's another thing.
They
were
really long, too.
Oh, and he's so slow.
But I love the way that was incorporated into, you could listen to it or not, and when you were listening to it, you could still continue to play the game because it was on your headphones. I like that kind of stuff where you're like
In-game podcasts.
It was optional, yeah.
Like Metal Gear Solid 4 had as well, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a cool idea. I don't know what was going on with David Hayter's voice in that game, though. Like,
Yeah,
it
I don't
sounded
get it.
He was
really
kind of
off.
phoning it in.
Phoning it in or had a cold
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, it's a little
He was saving
weird.
up for his appearance in Bomberman R.
Okay, Powell from
Good luck.
Poland. Welcome. It says, hello, Ben and crew. In the last podcast, you
From where
discussed
in Poland?
loads in Poland.
There you go.
Loads of fun. Hello, Ben and crew. In the last podcast, you discussed hints in games and how dumb some developers think gamers are, like in Uncharted, stuff like that. One example of a game that did hints right was Thimbleweed Park, a retro-style point-and-click adventure game. The hint system was built into the game as a telephone number you could call and ask for help.
Huh.
What is great is that the person on the other side of the phone didn't give you the full answer to the puzzles unless you specifically asked for it. You could gradually ask for smaller hints that would lead you in the right direction.
That's
I do
cool.
like that. I think like, guys, a Puzzle Agent, some other puzzle game has like that 3-tiered system of like, all right, we'll subtly give you one, and then by the third one, it's like, oh, just do this, you idiot.
The latent games have that, I think.
Is that what? Okay.
You could pay. You collected
pay
coins in the environment, and you could pay coins to like get like better hints, basically.
Dirty.
I do like
This is the
being-
longest rope.
The option to like opt in, like I want a hint now, rather than like sometimes if you're just waiting long enough, you'll have like in the Uncharted where the character's like, "Hey, we should go check out that box." So it's like, give me a second. Like I've just
Right.
been doing this thing. I want to explore your game.
Just give me a second.
Give me a second.
Nick from Bakersfield, California says, hello, crew. Hello. Whenever I start a new game, the first thing I do is go into the settings and make changes. I like turning off motion blur and captions for most games. I also turn down the music volume. Very interesting. It always seems set too high by default. Composers around the world are just killing themselves.
Hold on. Do you guys have that problem though too, where I feel like vocal audio is often tuned too low and sound effects are tuned too high? Is my hearing just way off?
I think so.
Like you guys never had that problem?
I've never noticed that.
I replayed
Sometimes I turn music down.
BioShock earlier this year, and like that one especially, like BioShock series was like really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways, he says, I love the option in Uncharted 4 and the new God of War to switch button mashing QuickTime events to a single button press. Oh, I haven't even fully dove into that. Do you have any go-to settings when starting a game?
Turn off subtitles.
Turn off.
Turn off.
Off.
Weird, because I usually have to turn on subtitles.
No.
Wait, are you guys playing on the same system? Like alternating days?
Yeah. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I swear I turned these off.
Well, who left all these Cheeto crumbs? Oh my gosh.
It smells like cereal in here.
Why do you like subtitles, Serial?
I don't know. I prefer. I feel like I intake better like information better when it's like written. So like
Yeah.
I know sometimes it'll spoil like punchlines and stuff like that, but I feel like I have a better understanding of the story if I read the subtitles.
Especially if like talking on the podcast, it's nice to know the characters' names. I
Yeah.
leave subtitles off as much as I can, but every time I have it on, I feel like I should do it more often.
And every once in a while, they'll have like if there's a thing where it's like a character speaking super low and you're not supposed to understand it. Sometimes the subtitles will actually just have those lines in there. So sometimes you get like a few extra lines that you wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah.
Pretty.
I just started-
It's kind of interesting.
I just started playing Hitman, and it asks
Hitman
you
1.
right at the beginning,
Yeah.
do you want subtitles on or off? I love that.
You let just get out of the way.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stupid words.
PC gamer is like, Leo and I, we're used to diving through menus. That's step one. Get that windowed trash out of there, right,
Out of
buddy?
exec bat.
Windowed borderless, please.
Full screen windowed, yeah.
Anyways, Chris Calkins from Honeyoy Falls, New York. Well, you wrote it up phonetically. How'd you?
Oh, okay.
Honeyoy? He says, Ben, could you say the phrase? I don't know if there's a joke here, but
Is this inappropriate?
I don't think so. He says, the next Overwatch hero is a new hamster? I don't know if that's it. Oh, like New Hampshire. Okay, I got it. So it's New Hamster?
Record scratch.
Anyways, he says, I was wondering what you guys thought of the next Overwatch hero being a genetically engineered hamster from the moon who built his own mech. Do you think that's a little too ridiculous in the Overwatch universe? Is this playstyle a little too obnoxious compared to the other heroes? What's the GI verdict on this hamster wrecking ball character?
I think it's fun.
I'm not an Overwatch guy in any way, but when I saw that, I was like, that's a cool idea. I think it's fun. And I saw there was like some pushback online, people not liking him. I'm like,
Well,
why is that?
It's a bunch of Reaper types taking themselves seriously.
Right. I think people were complaining that there wasn't enough Rule 37 art out there yet
yeah.
about the hamster. That was the main issue, I think.
Really?
When I saw it, the first thing I thought of, and this is probably sad, but I thought of like, oh, the little animal controlling a big thing. I thought of old Battleborn with like that penguin character in a mech. Look, I'm not saying Blizzard's ripping off Battleborn, but similar to
Or Diva.
Or
The
Diva
Yuma in the mech.
Well, I prefer not to call women animals, but teach their own.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, do you guys think it breaks the lore of the world at all?
Yeah, Winston.
Yeah, you're talking. You have like robots and like everybody's got magic powers.
Everything
Yeah.
in there is like cute in its own weird way, but apparently like people have their own like a cute too far.
Right.
I almost feel like that Overwatch's animation style is like primed for like a very jittery, very like small movements kind of hamster. Like he feels like he fits perfectly within that world.
Yeah, it is fun. And like, especially when a world like Blizzard Land or Blizzard World, what is that map called?
Blizzard World.
Yeah, when that can exist within that universe, like it's a pretty broad brush they're painting with, so have at it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Landon Ridge from Fairfax, Virginia. This is him now. He says, which video game trailer did you get the most hype for and watch over and over up to its release? Mine was probably back in 2007 when Halo 3 was about to come out. I was 11 years old, and it was the biggest sequel for me at the time. Most hyped trailer ever.
Ocarina of Time.
Ooh, a trailer.
They showed that trailer in a movie theater. It was in a dang movie theater, Ben Hansen.
That's wild. What was it, just like running across Hyrule, or?
Yeah. He's on his horse. There's all kind of cool music playing. That's great.
That is cool. I do remember the trailer for Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
It was also in a movie theater, and it was the first trailer for a video game I saw in a movie theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool.
And I remember seeing Seven's commercials on TV, and I remember they showed Eris dying in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
that's
showed like
messed
Cloud like lowering her down to the water because it's like probably the best looking scene from the game. It's just wild that they decided to show that. It's confusing.
I remember watching the Smash Brothers Brawl trailers a lot. Like that initial trailer where they show Snake off. I remember watching that a ton.
Yeah, for sure. I think the most hype video content that I can think of, it's related to games a little bit, but like the Final Fantasy Spirits Within movie trailers and like that website that was like rolling out teasers. I went to that website every day waiting for updates on stupid Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. I was losing my mind for that movie.
Really? And then what do you think of the movie?
Some fun ideas. I still like the idea of alien ghosts that will kill you if they touch you and suck your soul out of your body. That is fun.
I
That is
have not
very
seen that
fun.
movie since it came out, and I don't remember anything about it other than
Okay.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, weird CG Steve
Yeah.
Buscemi. At some point, I want to do a commentary track for that.
I think it'd be
really
fun. I would just want to see it again.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to talk. You can just sit there and just watch it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Timpton from Simpsonville, South Carolina says, greetings, casters of pods. That's us. Love the show as always. Thank you. Just got to thinking about this. I remember the opening CGI in Tekken 2 on PlayStation 1 back in the day and hoping games would look that good someday. That opening is laughable by today's standards. Same for the original NFL 2K, where at the time it looked absolutely awesome, but it's very rough now. Of course, with technology leaps, this is expected, but on the other hand, I still absolutely love the opening movie for Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. What times in the past did you think graphics were as good as they'd get? And of those, do you think any still hold up now?
SSX3.
Really?
I have this weird memory of like playing SSX3 and just like skiing down that mountain and being like, man, this looks really good. I don't think I ever need games to be look any better than this.
Right. And the fun part is you were actually snowboarding.
That's right. I was just real life snowboarding with a video camera.
No, skiing was on tour.
Sorry, did I say skiing?
You totally did say skiing.
I was SSX3 and I was snowboarding. I'm just an idiot.
That game did look good. It sounded so good, dude. Just the sound design of the SSX games is incredible.
I think also the crunch of snow was really good sound.
The crunch of snow, the crack of the bat.
I think mine was probably Resident Evil 4.
Oh, yeah?
Like a lot of those animations are just like, I can't imagine video games looking any better than this. And then I thought that about 5 as well, which hasn't aged as well. But those are still some really good animations in that game.
I loudly told everyone in the room when I was playing Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, this is it. It's not going to look any better than this. Get a load of these visuals. We're done.
Everybody gather around. I think fighting games are a good example for like racing games and
Racing
fighting
games for sure, yeah.
Racing games for sure, yeah. But I remember looking at like Tekken Tag Tournament, and it was specifically, I think it was the fur on the kangaroo, or maybe it was the bear. Help me. Sorry, I'm very
Kuma,
bad.
Jack.
Thank you. All those characters. I just remember thinking like, and like the hardwood flooring in the stage.
Yeah,
Was
the way
like,
it reflected.
oh,
The Heihachi bowling.
the way he jumped around, so cute.
I had
And now it's Akuma Bowling instead.
I had a
Ooh.
Sega CD back in the day too, and I had to justify that purchase a lot. So I bought like every Sega CD. I had Sewer Shark, if you remember that game, which is a
Not
real
good.
bad on-rail shooter. but that has live action video in there, like really super compressed, like thumbnails, of, like, talking heads. And I just remember being like, "This actual video in a game!" Like, I also thought,
"Mommy, Daddy!"
The Sega CD was like the next phase of video gaming, and like they weren't going to release new consoles. This was just how they would update things.
Yeah, this is the new console.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, they're not going to release new consoles. It's just like updates to what exists.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was going to be like the best gaming could get.
Yeah.
And then it was.
Yeah.
Lo and behold.
And it is. I still was playing Super Shark yesterday.
I don't know if I ever thought that like graphics could never top it, but I remember being blown away in Final Fantasy VIII. There's a scene, I can't remember the specifics of what is happening. Some gardens are fighting, which are like the universities that float around the world. It's like the new Peter Jackson film with London's a car or whatever the hell. But there's a scene where they have a movie rendered in the background of like all these garden fighters going at it, and then Squall, you can like run in the foreground, and it's just like a little bridge where you move from one area to the other. But the idea that they could like run that video in the background, it's like it's amazing.
How long does that video run? Will it
must
run out
loop
and
at
have to
some
go
point.
loop?
I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Huh.
I'm sure I saw that loop, and it was too mind-blowing to comprehend that it was just a simple loop happening, but it's so cool.
Very curious to see what in 10 years from now we think of like, oh yeah, games could have looked way better, and then now we're looking at like God of War and Last of Us and thinking like, I don't think it'll get any better.
It can't get better than God of War.
Call it quits. Jen writes in and says, "Greetings from Maryland. I have a problem that I need the GI crews help with." All right, you called the right podcast, Jen.
Yep, relationship advice.
Yep, here we go. I've always listened to the podcast while I'm working, as it helps make the day a little less stressful. Recently, I was moved to a new office, which I have to share with a coworker. She's very nice, but she is one chatty Cathy. She just talks and talks and talks, and I keep having to swivel around in my chair, pause your podcast, and take out my headphones because I'm too nice to tell her to stop. It's really cutting into my podcast time. What do I do? How do I tell her to shut the F up so I can listen to you guys in peace again?
Just pretend like you can't hear her. You've got headphones
Yeah,
on.
I'd
That's
do
like
that.
the international sign for I'm listening to something.
Do you guys do that
Yeah.
in the office?
Yeah, they're like most of the time there's nothing playing in my headphones.
Are you kidding? Are you serious?
I'm absolutely serious.
What? You dick!
Yeah.
You ignore cries from help. I ask if you can proof the stories. Nothing.
Well, I would say, what kind of headphones does she have? Because she could get like those earbuds that plug
Bigger
in
head- yeah.
where you can't hear anything outside of that.
Oh, that's true. Or I think she should just really sell it by getting just like the biggest earphones she can, just headphones that are just massive, just to really cement that she doesn't want to talk to this chatty Cathy
And
lady.
if that doesn't work, just without looking over, just flip her the bird.
Ooh, yeah, that's smart. That is tough. Ultimately, pause a podcast. It's rude, but I do that a lot of listening to podcasts while walking around the office.
Yeah.
And like I listen to podcasts like in grocery stores and stuff. Took that plunge.
Do you do that when you're in the checkout?
No, when I'm in the line for the checkout, when I get up and it's my turn, then I'll pause.
Okay.
So I don't think it's that rude, ultimately.
With the headphones
It's
in?
very generous of you.
Headphones out, because I feel like a dick leaving the wireless earbuds in, even if they're paused, because people will assume that I'm being a dick.
Right.
But I ain't. Anyways, Alex Schwartzer writes in and says, "Hello, Ben and crew. I love hearing all the hype surrounding Dreams following E3, and I'm glad to see it win so many awards. I don't really have a question. Instead, I want everyone on the panel to make an elevator pitch for a game they would like to see made in Dreams, or ones they would like to make themselves." That's kind of a question. He says, "Also, I think it'd be a neat video if everyone on the show collaborated on a Dreams project once it came out." I agree. I would love to
That's a fun idea.
really dive in there. Dreams is a game that I'm very excited for. I want to see what the community does with it. Do you guys think you're going to get into making stuff in it?
No, of course not.
No.
No.
Would you if you could like export it as a separate executable on PC?
The problem is not I can't export this awesome game that I made. The problem is I lose interest probably within about 45 minutes of dinking around with stuff like that.
Yeah.
I never get into making anything that doesn't have like instructions that I can follow. I love putting together Legos if I have instructions.
Right.
I'm not gonna
Making
just build my own
babies.
thing. Yeah,
as long
exactly.
as there's instructions. Well, what would you guys make with Dreams?
I would try to see if I could make a text adventure game just to see how the tools would handle that.
You know it does it, right? That was one of the demos they gave at E3.
Oh, was it text adventure?
literally a text adventure game.
Surreal.
Well, I would watch that trailer instead and then prove myself wrong.
See, this is why you shouldn't ever create anything.
That's
'cause
good.
Somebody's always done it.
Yeah, it's tough. I think we talked about it at E3, but I would try and just make a series of simple WarioWare style games just to see if I could rapid fire through them.
Yeah.
Basically try and recreate every original WarioWare micro game within Dreams, which I'm sure the community is going to do within 2 to 3 days,
Yeah.
would be my guess.
this is maybe too ambitious for dreams, but I would love to create a sort of Metroid style game where it's like stealth based. So you're trying to like sneak through. You're like a ninja, kind of like what was that 2D ninja game? You know what I'm talking about?
Mark of the
Ninja. Oh, it's hard to remember, but you hit the mark. But it's a Metroid game where you're unlocking things but sneaking past enemies. I think that'd be really fun.
Hang on, do we need to pause the podcast because you're losing it after that?
I'm dying here. If you could pause it,
okay, hang on, we'll cut. Okay, and we're back. Everyone's feeling good.
Once again,
I think Dreams could probably handle that. I mean, you saw that demo that I did at E3. I think those tools are absurd.
Oh yeah. I guess I don't know how big of a world can you make. I guess what I was thinking is like, can I make a giant world?
Like 6, I think, right?
I think 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was hoping for 7.
Okay.
We have to reduce its scale a little bit.
We could totally make it work.
Assassin's Creed. I want someone to make an Assassin's Creed game.
Honestly, I want to see the fans like make other Sony games so that in theory they won't be so compelled to take them down. But I want to see the fan community, God of War, just the weird stuff like that I'm sure it's going to be
game,
it's going to be right out of the gate.
All the stuff that we used to get for envelope art. Mortal Kombat with Master Chief.
Right.
You could have Grand Theft Mario.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse singing Beatles songs. Whatever you want, just go ahead and put it in there.
Yeah.
Everyone will love it. I'm excited for that thing. Sorry. Beep, boop. Justin from Austin, Texas. He says, hey, GI crew, I would argue Fortnite, Overwatch, and Splatoon 2 are some of the biggest multiplayer games happening right now. At least they are for the sake of my argument. Correct. One thing they all have in common is bright colors and cartoonish animations. Even Anthem piqued my curiosity at E3 this year when I wasn't expecting it at all, simply because I really like the bright colors they went with in the presentation. That lime green on the Interceptor's sleek design looks way cooler than anything you'd see in a Battlefield or a Call of Duty game. Do you like color in your shooters? Do you notice this trend at all? Why do you think gamers respond well to colors in their multiplayer shooters?
Do they respond well? Seems like they weren't happy about it with Rage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wasn't that the uproar? Like, hey, this is too colorful.
I don't know if I heard that one specifically. I think people were just saying Rage. I don't know. I always appreciate it. I wonder if we were overly saturated with this stuff, if a game like a Metro Exodus or something will sell more in any way because people want something different. But do you guys feel like it's become a new standard now in 2018 to have your multiplayer shooter be colorful?
No.
Yeah, we're not at that point. Just because there's a few standout examples. Great examples.
Great examples.
I feel like
fun games.
It's more of a larger trend of, I think Anthem is sort of closer to what he might be thinking of, like just developers realizing they don't have to make a game entirely gray and brown to make it serious. Because I think there was just a few years after like Gears of War and stuff in Call of Duty 4 that people thought this is how we're going to lend our game gravitas, as if there are no other colors.
Right.
And then eventually I think people realized, yeah, you can do whatever you want with colors. And it's...
there's like a whole palette in there, man.
Yeah.
They need Dreams to teach them that one more time.
Yeah. And then... So I think people are just getting more used to using that full spectrum. And I think the colorful shooters are kind of... Yeah, the full spectrum warrior colors.
Oh boy. Okay, what do you guys like? Question of the week.
They were all so
They were all
good.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I just put several pins on the board for each one of these questions.
I like it, even though it's negative, and we try to be positive on this podcast a little bit here and there. I like the E3 game that just you don't want to come out.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
I like developer feedback. I think that's a good one. Let's see. The graphics, if you think were topped out.
I think that's a good one.
I like the thoughts on Metal Gear too. That I feel like we at least talked a lot because of it.
Went into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think because we like Metal Gear.
Yeah. Okay. What are you guys leaning for? If you had to, take the plunge here.
E3. What game are you gonna kill?
Yeah.
I think that one works. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's Adam from Connecticut. Congratulations.
I say we get rid of Connecticut while we're at it.
We'll put you on the big board instead. Congratulations, Adam, and congratulations all of Connecticut. We love you dearly. For now, Jurassic World Revealed, the audio game. We're getting back to it, ladies and gentlemen. So we reassembled the crew and we're going back to the island. So without further ado, enjoy this audio adventure. And welcome back to the Game Informer Show, and welcome back to the grand adventure on Isla Nublar itself. Here we go. I'm still here, Ben Hansen. Andrew Reiner's here again. Dan Tax here again. And Joe Juba's here again.
That's me.
And we're also joined by our dear friend, Computer! Tell a joke!
People hang up horseshoes for good luck. So why don't horses hang up socks?
That's Amazon Alexa Echo Dot. by proxy Gulf Hotel that's sitting here on the table, and we're playing an audio-only Jurassic World game. We're halfway through it. We're really at the climax. Everybody remembers exactly where we left off. We're on the island. We've seen the hubba heartthrob Claire. That the host of the podcast within the podcast itself, Janet Franklin, as we all remember, is in love with.
Oh, that's right.
Completely obsessed.
We're playing the role of Jesse. I don't think we have anything left in our inventory at this point.
We gave away the chocolate.
And Corn Jessie, as she's known.
That's right. Old
Did we
crap
shoot
and
our
Jess.
flare? We had a flare.
Yep, that was shot at the dinosaur to try and ward it off. That was a Carnotaurus.
Try to ward it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how this goes. Before we even get to that, Andrew Reiner, you finally done it. You saw Fallen Kingdom.
I did.
What did you think?
I really, really liked it.
I'm so happy.
I really did. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you try to line up the narrative dots, like, it's like, oh man, this is a disaster. But the action, the intensity, the scale of it all is so good. That's exactly what I wanted from it.
I assume there's so many dinosaurs on screen. I can't imagine you being disappointed with that movie in any way. And it's interesting to like have the framework for a Jurassic Park movie. I like just the idea of let's model a lot of this movie after like the kitchen scene in particular.
Yeah,
just like the raptor kitchen sequence that's expanded into basically half the movie, which is a cool idea.
It kind of has tones of a horror movie at times.
Oh yeah,
where it's like they're being hunted by just one thing, one entity that they can't stop. They don't know how to stop. I think that's awesome, but I really like where it leaves off too. Like for the next movie, like that's exactly what I wanted from this series. When I heard it was called Jurassic World,
yeah,
I was like, oh, I think they're going to do this, and it ended up being a theme park. But
yeah,
no,
who knows what it can mean?
Dun dun dun!
All right, let's get to it. By the way, Dan and Joe, you guys ever going to see Fallen Kingdom?
I am going to see
care.
it, but I don't care about the spoilers. But I'm sure the audience.
Oh yeah, we're not going to spoil
I'd be on the
anything.
window. You know,
all right.
2 weeks is like ridiculous, right?
All right,
Should have seen it already.
You really should have. Okay, let's see if this works. By the way, we changed the Amazon Alexa's name to computer because it's more Jurassic Parky, so don't be confused when we're constantly yelling computer because we have it sitting on the table here. Okay, computer! Open Jurassic World. What's the game called?
Welcome back.
Okay.
Oh,
To
thank God.
continue your story, say resume. You can also start over.
Resume. No trolling,
Don't
Joe.
say that.
Don't do it.
Should we stay with Owen
Yes.
Oh, thank
or
God.
follow the mercenaries?
Reiner, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah. Oh, stay with
Help me
Owen.
decide. Should we stay with Owen or follow the mercenaries?
Stay with Owen.
Yeah, I want to hear that voice.
We are right back in it. This is great.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Grady? Owen? Hey, Owen. I wish that volcano would shut up already.
I like how they have the volcano
deadline.
exploding in the background just to make things even more
Okay.
intense.
First aid
Ticking
basics.
clock.
Make sure the patient is breathing.
Who's Owen?
He is.
That's
Check
Chris
his
Pratt's
pulse.
character.
Okay.
I think you're supposed to check at the wrist. It's stronger at the wrist. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's stronger at the neck. Jesse, what do
Check
you
the
think?
pants.
Should I check his pulse at the
Pants.
wrist? Or
Check his pulse,
the neck?
Hanson.
Neck, tightly.
Oh, no, there's nothing. His heart's not.
Nope, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, there it is.
What?
Phew.
The heart's not in the neck. The heart's not in the neck.
Pulse is hard to find, but steady. Let's try to wake him up. Maybe he can even tell us what's going on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a dinosaur. It's Owen. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on it now.
The first
it's
aid kit
dinosaurs. We just feed him
doesn't
chocolate.
have anything for a tranq overdose. I guess sometimes
Oh.
coma patients wake up when
got
people talk
tranked?
to them.
Yeah, this is like
Or
it's in the
the
movie. It's in
movies,
Fallen Kingdom.
people wake up when someone shakes them or slaps them. What do you think, Jesse?
Yes.
Should
Good
I
games.
talk to him, shake him, or slap him?
Slap him.
Joe, going out on a limb, buddy.
Only one choice.
Uh-oh.
Owen, wake up!
That's
It's time
slapping?
to wake up!
It is, apparently.
I need your autograph, Chris Pratt.
It's not working.
No.
It sounds like she's trying to like pick him
He's in
up.
a coma.
I'm wondering if maybe we should find some sheltered spot to move him to. Although, maybe we should check his pockets first? Just in case he has some clues.
Maybe we should rob
Something to
him.
tell us what's going on.
Loot the body.
What do you think, Jesse? Should we move him to safety, search him, or leave him alone?
Search him.
search him.
So,
chocolate.
keys,
About $5.
ID,
Chocolate.
canteen,
Canteen in his
chocolate
pocket.
bar.
Chocolate. Yeah, get the chocolate.
No notebook or photos or a phone or anything. Hey, that's weird. The tranq dart he was shot with. I figured it would be underneath him, but it isn't here. Wait, what's that?
It was an ice dart. Smoking gun.
Shh, be quiet. I think I can just see through this bush. It's,
Take chocolate.
Oh, Jesse, it's a mercenary squad.
Leave for dead.
The mercs are here. We're in trouble now.
One of them has a tablet, and it's beeping. Oh, that can't be good.
What?
They're coming right this way. Quick.
Oh, it's going to be
We
Claire
can
and
hide
the
in the old
buddies.
truck. Except, Owen. Maybe we should stay and protect him?
Nope.
Jesse, should we
Well, we are invulnerable,
Hide.
right? So
or stay with Owen?
Reiner's thinking.
It's Chris Pratt.
this is a tough decision.
Stay
Ryan.
with Owen.
Yeah. Bold. Hero
Very
move.
bold. Those mercenaries might kill us. Be careful.
Uh-oh.
We got it.
We hide or stay with Owen?
Stay with Owen.
Jesse, should we hide
Really give it to it.
or stay with Owen?
Stay with Owen.
Okay. Yes.
God, this makes me
Again,
miss the
that's
connect.
right thing to do.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, that is not a good selling point for the Amazon dot.
Must be the ones from the boat.
Hey,
At
baby.
least they weren't hard to find. You two are going to tell me what you're doing here. Now.
We're we're tourists. We wanted to get off the beaten track, do something authentic.
So you're reporters, but you're tourists. You're tourist reporters.
Jesse,
Oh, this guy's too smart.
Can't. You and Jesse are going for a ride.
Ooh.
Meeks, Liberty, take him to the truck. I'll be right behind you. Rest of you, stay in the carno.
Let's go.
Leave your recording equipment on, please.
I feel like I'm right there.
Yeah, me too.
This is Janet Best. Jesse and I have been detained and locked in the back of a heavily armored military vehicle.
I wish I had this kind of
by
commitment
the
to our
hired
podcast.
mercenaries. One of the mercenaries
What's her
is
reach?
apparently named Stone.
Monthly reach.
Earlier, I found a credit card bearing the name Stone Ice Tanner. This might be the same person. We can't be sure what these men intend to do with us.
Ice Tanner.
But we do know
Sounds
that
intimidating.
they, like
one
the
of
other
those,
group,
like-
deliberately left Owen Grady behind. I wonder if we made the best choice. Staying with Owen.
Was that Chris Pratt's cameo?
All right.
Just
But we weren't
silent,
able to
knocked
do
out.
anything for
Anybody
him,
would be a
really.
cameo in these audience.
Now-
Is that Morgan Freeman asleep in the corner?
There he is.
Seems like if you
There's
had
the
the
body
chance
of
to do it all
Nedry.
over again, would you still stick with Owen?
God, they wouldn't put that in this.
Who's it?
It's me.
If you had the chance to do it all over again, would you still stick with Owen?
No, you blew it.
If you had the chance to do it all over again,
No. All right.
would you still stick with Owen?
No.
Yeah, gee, I guess
Yeah.
so.
You're probably right.
It's always
I
the
guess.
dumb answer.
I think it was going to be the same no matter
At
what you
least
said
we
yes or
still
no.
have the
Yeah.
recording equipment.
She always agrees with us, too.
I know.
When they come back, you talk. Keep them distracted. I'll record. I think we can get them to slip up. Reveal something about what's going on and who's behind it.
They're going to kill you.
Slip up.
Nah, you're wrong. T-Rex all the way. Hey, let's move.
Yeah, okay.
Just
Come on.
soldier
The
chatter.
Soldier of
Spinosaurus
Fortune
definitely
T-Rex
has the
edition.
reach advantage. Okay, you can just
Oh, this is
reach
fun.
in there with those long front limbs and snap that T-Rex's neck.
Reach advantage? This isn't the welterweight championship. Anyway,
This is a
that
hot
neck's
issue
like
for Jurassic
20
Park
feet
fans, is the
around,
Spinosaurus versus
solid
T-Rex
muscle.
debate.
Oh, really?
I'm sure
Okay.
the
There is Jurassic
Spinosaurus
Park
could
3
just
defenders out
reach
there.
over and snap.
Huh.
Hey, Jesse, settle this for me and my friend.
What?
Didn't realize Jesse
good.
was an expert.
We're making friends with the...
No, just hold on. Jesse, they get into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins? T-Rex or Spinosaurus?
T-Rex.
Yeah, Joe.
It's a classic.
Ha! We got a smart one here.
Sounded like they stopped the car for a second just to get that answer from Jesse.
This car ain't moving until you answer.
Sour grapes.
I also love the idea of Jesse being this
Okay,
fractured,
one more.
like
Moses.
four personalities shouting in his head.
Well, that's the twist ending, is they reveal that.
No, this is beyond stupid.
It's intentionally
Why he doesn't
provocative.
talk is he's just
It's a
internal
thought
torment.
exercise.
Interesting. I thought
One's
Jesse was a girl.
airborne, one's aquatic. It's like asking who'd win
go
between
either
a
way.
jet
It's like Robin
fighter
in
and a
Fire Emblem.
battleship.
Or
Exactly.
Jesse, isn't it Jesse in Minecraft story mode
Out
too?
of range.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Bomb the Mosasaurus all it wanted. End of story.
Or Jesse from
Oh,
Pokemon.
right. Sure. The Mosasaurus is 70 feet long, 40,000 pounds, but a little pteranodon is going to scratch it to death. Jesse, time to redeem yourself.
These guys are fun.
Really put your thinking cap on this time?
Some really nice
Who
mercenaries.
wins? Mosasaurus or pteranodon?
What?
Mosasaurus.
Thank you, Jesse. It's refreshing to have some intelligent company for once.
Yeah. These guys are better company than Janet. They really are. Can we just align with them?
Genius.
We should start a
I don't
podcast with them
understand
to
how I
start
got
arguing
no
about
ranking on this
dinosaurs.
job.
Frankly, even
Keep
better.
talking, Stoney. Keep it up.
Yeah,
I
Stoney's
might
our new
just have
best
to
friend.
teach you a lesson.
That's a good one, Meeks. Really funny.
I don't joke.
I got reach and weight over you. No contest.
I've got brains and speed.
Maybe we just ask our new friend here.
gotta ask a new friend here.
Jesse.
More
the rest of the
dinosaur
game.
questions.
Try not to let me down this time. It's obvious, but I'll ask anyway.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight?
Good.
Stone or Meeks?
Stone.
Damn it. You could have said the word
See?
Meeks. I feel like you really threw away that opportunity to say a dumb word right
Yeah,
here.
I get it now. It's so obvious why you stalled out at First Sergeant.
Whoa. Watch yourself.
This
Armor would
tangent
have been
is
crazy to
by
make
far
you
the worst part of the
major.
entire
What
game.
did you know about it?
Jump out
I
of car.
need to know.
We're gonna try something.
That's sort of like saying,
Now's our
like,
chance.
what is the worst
Or
part of this
stick
garbage
around
heap?
and
It
see
is.
what other
This
juicy
is the
info they
smelliest
let
part of the
slip.
trash heap.
Should we attempt to escape or keep recording?
Attempt to escape.
You're not here
good
because of the
stuff.
money. You're
Gotta
here
get that
because you
podcast,
couldn't hack
folks.
it in the service.
Quit while you're ahead, Meeks.
You probably thought you'd be a lieutenant colonel by now.
Oh my god.
Kicking it back at HQ.
Talked about
we
we're
gonna
going to be at
escape or
five
not?
Not
years.
swampy,
What happened?
tick-infested island trying to capture dinosaurs.
I will frickin' throw you right out of this vehicle. Don't think I won't.
I will PG-13 throw you out of
We
this
can
vehicle.
try the door, hope it's not locked, and jump from a moving truck.
Is she giving away
Or
her
we
plan?
try to grab one of their guns.
They're sitting right there. They can hear you ask this.
Try the door, or grab the gun.
Grab the gun!
Yeah. To shoot the door handle.
Hands up!
Come on.
Well
That
done!
Wasn't smart.
Shut up!
Listen, you have no idea what you're doing. First off, there's a biometric
like you to either.
safety on that thing. You can't even fire it.
I don't believe you.
What, have
Let
you
us
not
out,
played Metal Gear 4?
or I shoot.
You're not gonna shoot. Drop the gun.
Is he coming on to us?
Yeah, this is
And
so
no one
weird.
gets hurt.
I think he's turning into a dinosaur.
I didn't think they'd challenge me. What do I do? Pull the trigger, or drop it?
I know it's going to have the bio. Pull the trigger.
Should have listened to Meeks. That was really stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think we can just let you get away with something like that.
That biometric.
You can't kill us. If you kill us, Wheatley will be pissed.
I'm not gonna kill you. Not yet.
I'm too
Could hurt you though.
Well, we could direct this actor in the booth, but who has the time?
Don't tell me that was the volcano.
I can't take his name.
He's driving into the mouth.
Liberty! What's happening?
Chasm beneath it.
This is Janet Best. We've just been, the transport we were in has crashed. Jesse and I were thrown out.
Okay.
We're fine.
We're
Miles
basically
away.
okay. The driver wasn't so lucky. We left Stone with the vehicle. He was unconscious, but still breathing. There's no sign of Meeks.
Sweet.
You can probably
that
hear
was
that.
an easy solution.
That is a volcano.
Oh,
An awesome and terrifying sight. Lava spewing, smoke rising, rocks
Coming right for us.
Run!
Holding the mic up, trying to get better on it.
5.
Yeah.
Wow, we made it.
I don't understand why you do an audio podcast if this is your thing.
Video podcasts are overrated, Joe.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't make sense for this to be a video podcast.
No, of course not.
either, what we're doing, but
The whole forest is going up. There's a river. This way.
Stay away from it. Is it you, Reiner?
There. The old Cretaceous cruise ride.
Is that the one at Universal?
Get under there.
Oh, this is kind of fun. It's like from the book.
yeah.
Didn't they have it? It wasn't it in 3 as well?
Yeah.
Look, there's a...
Well, they were in the river in
I
3.
stuck out
And it was
there
kind of
in the
inspired
river.
by that part from the book from 1,
we
but
get
yeah.
to it, we can take it downstream. It's our
Your
best
lore
shot.
knowledge of this shit goes way deep. Oh, it's like in
The
the
rocks
novel.
look slippery,
Shut
but
up, Joe.
who knows what's living in the water. So, should we cross on the rocks or in the water?
Call Dr. Alan Grant.
Only one man
rocks
can
look
help us ford this
slippery,
river.
Who knows what's living in the water? So, should we cross on the rocks or in the water?
In the water.
Nice.
It's good. Can't see us if we don't move.
It's so cold.
Nah, I feel like I'm there.
Watch out for the fish. Stupid. They almost look like piranhas.
It's okay, we can handle piranhas. No fail states here.
Give chocolate to piranha. Why are there piranhas?
Why are there piranhas?
But also, why is it going in the water even an option?
Okay.
Like, what intelligent...
Looks like it'll float.
The rocks were slippery.
2 paddles, 1
Awesome.
life vest.
So then what happens? You end up in the water.
Listen, I'm a pretty good swimmer.
I'll put $500
Will
that a
you wear the
T-Rex is
vest?
going to attack them while they're in the river. A vest!
Listen, I'm a pretty good swimmer. Will you wear the vest?
Yes! Oh, I should have
Good.
said no, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Here.
Now we're
Okay.
never going to drown.
Let's go.
We won't ever achieve our goal here.
Watch it.
This island is volcanoing!
This is so crazy. This is
Head
like,
under the trees on that bank. The foliage should give us some protection from all the flying debris.
What?
No!
Hopefully.
What? Flaming balls? No.
lava balls hitting trees.
Yeah.
It's
It's Nedry.
one of Wheatley's guys.
Survived.
He's pretty beat up.
Guys, you just can't leave me here. You wouldn't.
Oh, gee.
You're good people.
Oh, is this my choice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Should we go back
Leave
for
him.
Oh my God, computer.
Broke it.
Leave him!
I don't know.
Oh my God!
Should we go back for him?
No!
You're right.
Good job, Joe.
I'm always
If
right.
the situation were reversed, you know he wouldn't help us out.
Yeah.
That's right. Got him.
Yes.
You just
Do I get to hear him die?
me.
No, never happened.
I hope the volcano gets you too.
It's not sentient.
Fork up ahead! Water's pretty choppy to the left, calmer to the right. But it looks like there's something that looks like a crocodile that way.
Ooh.
Which risk would you rather take? The rapids or the dinosaur?
The dinosaur.
I think they have you asking to repeat that question as you're just coming up on this branching the river.
We'll let the river decide.
Oh, that looks like a baryonyx. It just got up on its back legs. Oh,
Let's just say hello.
we gotta be extra quiet.
This is no time to record a podcast.
Gotta be quiet, but I'm gonna keep talking.
It appears to be following us. Don't panic.
I don't know how it can get a beat on us.
It's getting really close.
It's still there.
Bigger than
It's still there.
There's clearly a mole in this boat.
We can try to outrun it, or we can fight it off with the paddles. Should we paddle faster, or Fight it off.
Fight it off.
Wait, it stands.
No. I
Get
picked
ready.
the route.
Oh, yeah, you did.
It's a freaking dinosaur. You're gonna be with a paddle.
We won.
Chopped his head
Come
off.
back now.
I want to. In that reality, in what reality could a paddle beat off a dinosaur?
I'll show you.
Oh, we're gonna hit that shoal.
Isn't there a paddle weapon in Monster Hunter?
We gotta
there's
push
like
off.
paddles and fish and cute weapons, but
When you're ready.
they're not designed for.
Say,
They're joke
push.
weapons. Hold it. Hold it.
we gotta push off. When you're
There's
ready.
no choice here.
Say,
There isn't.
push.
Wait. 1, 2, 3. All at the same time. Ready? 1.
Push!
Damn it, Joe.
We gotta push off.
We gotta push off.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right.
When you're ready. Say, push.
Push!
Yeah.
Nice work, everybody.
We did it.
Perfect.
That's
You
not
know, games are a series of interesting decisions, as Sid Meier once put it.
This is co-op.
Nice.
We can fight with our paddle or get down low in the boat. Do you want to fight it off or hunker down?
Hunker.
Fight it off. I love imagining.
My paddle broke. Oh no.
No way.
More of them.
Okay. We might die here, guys.
And hold on.
We might die.
I think there are more rabbits ahead.
Rabbits.
No, that's a waterfall.
Yeah!
We're okay now. The
She has
dinosaurs are
some
gone.
resilient recording equipment.
No matter what, she will
Testing.
never stop.
It's just the conch
Not
shell.
sure if this equipment survived our little river ride. Huh. Shockingly,
Find out Jesse's basically
Everything looks
Wilson
okay.
from Castaway.
Like a sock puppet.
Yeah.
this is Janet Best.
Husband's urn.
Jesse and I have just endured a harrowing adventure. Fleeing the active volcano through a burning forest, then down a river, escaping dinosaurs,
Sounds a lot more exciting
and
than it was.
culminating in a plunge over a waterfall.
It really does.
Miraculously, we survived. Both of us surfacing only to be swept further downriver. The life vest helped Jesse stay afloat. Jesse helped me stay afloat.
There we
I held
go.
on to Jesse,
Payoff.
praying for dear life as the tumultuous
The
river
equipment's
had its
fine.
way with us.
I wish we would have
Finally,
died.
we were able to get a hold of the splintered remains of our kayak. This meager chunk of marine-grade plywood carried us downriver until we came to shore near the beach. At least for now, we are okay. And it sounds like something is happening
I hope the
just
volcano
over
gets
the
you
next
too.
rise.
Chapter 6.
Be respectful, Dan.
We're gonna see Stone again.
Stone iced, that is.
Binoculars.
The finale.
Yeah.
It is.
He's
It's all leading up to this.
This is the Jurassic World 3
he's
of the
pulling one
saga.
of its teeth out. Something's wrong with that guy.
Whatever that is.
Oh.
Okay. Let's get closer.
Get closer.
Is this game free?
Wait,
No.
No.
check this out.
It was $5, remember?
Looks like this is where you stash your jacket when you get too hot. If we wear these, we'll blend in a lot easier.
Oh.
What'll we be? Mercenaries? Or ship's crew?
Fun.
Mercenaries.
If we wear these, we'll
Oh my
blend in a lot
God.
easier.
To be fair, old mushmouth
What'll
over
we
there.
be? Mercenaries? Or ship's
Clear
crew?
as day.
Mercenaries.
Dan, enunciate.
Okay, Sergeant.
I did, Sergeant.
Hey, over there.
So we're getting on the
That's our
boat
Dimetrodon.
in Fallen Kingdom. Okay.
You can tell by the leg.
Dimetrodon.
And that's Wheatley.
Who's Wheatley?
I think he was in Portal 2.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the... Okay.
The big red tag.
Jagoff.
Leave this one behind. It's hurt. We don't have time.
We need to get the value.
It's the guy that played that character in Silence of the Lambs that I can't say, or the system will shut down. Remember?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm just surrounded by idiots. Let's spend more on the help next time. You can afford it. Now look, the A-list is covered, but we're gonna have to forget some of the Bs. Volcano's blowing. We gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Shoot. I really want to know who he's talking to. Whoever it is deserves to be exposed for the heartless criminal they are.
Oh, my lord.
But I also want to help this dinosaur. They're just going to leave her here to die. We have a few minutes at best. We can't accomplish both. Should we follow Wheatley or stay here?
Stay here.
No, Reiner!
I bet the same thing's going to happen
Should
anyway.
we follow Wheatley
Now do the right
or
one.
stay here?
Follow Wheatley.
There we go.
We're going to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Should we
Oh my god!
follow Wheatley or stay here?
Follow Wheatley!
Should we follow Wheatley?
Reiner! English!
Stay here.
MFer, do you speak it?
Follow Wheatley.
I agree.
Oh my god,
That's
you have
all
to
we
be
can do
fully
to
off
this
mic.
I get that, but we need to secure the targets we wanted. Wait, hold on. What is it?
The Allosaurus on
Just
board.
imagine how this
We're
fits
running
into
low
my
on
everyday
Telezol.
life of me
I've got 3 on cotton
shouting
and
at
5
something on my
unaccounted for.
counter
Get
from
the
a
injured on board.
foot or two
Can't
away.
wait for the others.
Sir.
Where was I? Right. Look. Mills. It was either be on time with half the assets or stay to get the rest of the high-value targets.
Mills.
Look, anyway, it's too late. They're just going to have to wait. Stall them. Yeah, I know. All right. Goodbye, Eli. I have to get on a boat. There's a volcano.
I love you, Eli.
Quick, turn around.
Phone call.
This way. Eli Mills. That's it.
I'm here on Isla
That's him.
Nublar. Flying to
Whoever you
Atlanta.
are, Eli Mills. We've got your number now.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't easy. We've endured and sacrificed a lot to get here.
What?
But it was totally worth it.
Yeah?
I think. Or, well, tell me the truth, Jesse.
Oh, lame.
Level him with you, Jesse.
Do you think it was worth it?
No! Refund, please!
I guess some sacrifices are bigger than others.
I had to eat creamed corn. It's the end of days.
But we make the choices we make to achieve the things we want to achieve. To find the truth. Journalism is hard sometimes.
Ain't that the truth?
But we're gonna burn these
Preach
guys,
it.
Jesse. Once we get our podcast out, everyone will know who they are and what they did.
To expose them all.
Or tried to do.
And we will desperately
Hopefully
beg our
we can
friends to
stop
listen
them.
to it.
I'm not even sure which of those things excites me more.
Give us a review on
Which do
iTunes.
you
It
want to
helps
do
us
more?
out.
Sabotage the plan. Or expose the truth.
What?
Sabotage the plan.
Totally. The value of the knowledge you have lies in what you choose to do with it.
This is
Right
some
now,
deep stuff right
You
here.
can still go back and help.
Anything not on the boat is about to become extinct.
It's good.
Oh my god.
Best line of the whole.
It is true. That's fun.
We have to get on board. It's our only way out of here. Come on.
Just move the mic away from your mouth when you're breathing so heavily.
He's mic'd up.
Yeah, is it
What's up?
JB
They're
Gwaltney
checking
over
you
here?
in.
Hey! I don't know. He breathes
We've
in
got to
sometimes.
talk our way on board. You'll have to do the talking, Jesse.
She can't talk!
You know I'm a bad liar.
Oh, we're so good at this.
I'll just mess it up.
I bet either option.
Is there a paddle I can hit this person with?
Yeah, never mind. I see your jackets. You're with Wheatley's group, yeah?
Yeah.
Dan, be convincing. Come on, man. Act.
Go ahead on board.
Wow. That was easy.
Hey, wait a second. Since you're with Wheatley,
Let me give you a quiz.
there's a guy
Oh my
named
god.
Stone Heist Tanner.
Oh, hi.
You guys
Stony.
seen him?
Yes.
Oh, good. I got a note here. Stone's MIA. His sister's a bigwig. She wants to know if Stone's okay. So, is he okay?
No!
Well, shoot.
What?
I'll make a note to tell Miss Heist Tanner.
I'll make a note.
Maybe not right this minute, though. You
Tell
guys are
boss,
clear. Go on up.
brother is
And
dead.
you two should probably
Okay.
swing by medical before you do anything
From
else.
very reliable source.
You
Well,
look like you've
shoot.
been in a rugby match.
Kick the boat off.
Or under one.
Okay. Will do. Thanks. I can't believe I was so worried about that. I guess in their eyes, the fact that we're on the island at all means we belong on the ship.
She's more whispery now than she was right next to those
What's
dinosaurs.
next for us? But at least we're not dying in a volcano eruption.
We tried.
Okay.
We did our best.
Heartwarming.
Nobody's watching. I guess now's a good time to do the closer.
Kiss?
The
Are
closer.
you ready?
Is it me?
Yeah, are you ready?
Yes. There's no options in this chapter.
Freeform, baby.
Okay. Nobody's watching. I guess
Oh.
now's a good time to do the closer.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Was that it?
This is Janet Best, speaking to you from the cargo ship Arcadia, departing the island of Isla Nublar, following its immolation by volcano. This investigation has been quite a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
We came to Isla Nublar with the intention
as
of
fun.
documenting a
Sounds better
noble
on
effort
paper.
to save noble creatures. What we found was something else entirely.
I just don't know what that was.
The
They're
mission
super
has
easy
been
to beat to
co-opted
death
by
with a
others
paddle.
for their own
We
purposes.
sprayed a dinosaur with perfume.
We managed to learn a little
happened.
bit about these people. They employ mercenaries,
They all have chocolate.
unknown origin. A man named Wheatley was in charge of ground operations here, and he reported to someone called Eli Mills. We don't know if Mills is at the top, but we do know that there are others involved.
Mills is that rich
They
dweeb,
have
right?
loaded a number of dinosaurs onto a cargo ship, and we have escaped the island by hiding aboard that same ship.
Half this boat is stowaways.
We know precisely what these people intend, or where they are taking us.
It's like a one mercenary and then a bunch of fake mercenaries.
Is who we are.
Red 13 in the suit from 7, basically.
Learned a lot about who we are
Yes.
during our time on Isla Nublar. We're brave.
No.
We take risks,
Okay.
and sometimes we pay for it. We follow
But not
the
today.
story, wherever it leads. We are observers,
Delete podcast.
but we take action,
Reiners, I'm
and
so
we
scared.
will
Don't say
not
stuff
give
like
up. If, for whatever reason, we don't make it back, and someone finds these recordings, please post them.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been Frankly Best, where we seek the truth and tell it.
Oh, they revealed that like Alan Grant
Stay
uploaded the
tuned.
podcast.
Would you like to hear how your story compares to those of other players?
Yes. That's a genuine
You and
yes.
46% of people got the scoop on Eli Mills' name. You and 69% of people met the paleo
Yeah.
veterinarian,
Nice.
Dr. Zia Rodriguez. You and 37% paid the fishing boat captain. You and 28% didn't go back for Stone.
Nice.
Thank you for playing Jurassic World Revealed.
Wow, those are the biggies. You can tell that Dave Grossman came from Telltale. Like, that's very much a Telltale model.
Yeah.
Hey, Jurassic World Revealed, ladies
We
and
did
gentlemen.
it. Super replay.
Official super replay of Jurassic
What a
World
revelation
Revealed.
that was.
Honestly, I will keep my eye on what this company, I think they're called Earplay, like what they release in the future. Ryan, I think you're with me.
I like these. They're dumb as hell.
Yeah, I'm into it. Just for a point of comparison, we tried it a little bit before the show. Leo and I did, and it was basically broken. But let's give it a whirl. Computer, open Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, Adventurer. You were standing at a crossroads deciding where to go. In one direction is a busy trading post. In the other is a Daedric shrine. Where would you like to go?
Daedric Shrine.
You meet an orc companion
Enunciate.
at the Daedric shrine.
English, dummy.
She's lost an item of great sentimental value, a rare book. She begs you to retrieve it for her. Will you lend your aid to this desperate companion?
No.
You head out on the road and pass
this
a
one
guard.
sucks.
I heard about you and your honeyed words.
great.
He mutters to you, utterly lacking your characteristic swagger. You arrive at a crossroads. In one direction is a Nord village. In the other is a busy trading post. Where would you like to go?
Nord Village.
Should have got Todd Howard to narrate this or something at least.
Seriously.
Once at the Nord village, an Altmer shopkeeper greets you. He tells you of the terrible evil lurking in a nearby cave that has been terrorizing the Nord village. Will you lend your spell and steal to his cause?
Yes.
See?
I mean, you guys are treating this like it's not just...
You arrive at your first dungeon.
An in-depth
As the mighty
joke
Dome
that they
King, you
develop.
obviously already know
No,
that you can
jokes
use
should be
your
more
weapon,
fully
cast
formed. Like
spell,
our
or
clever
shout to
humor
battle
through that
your
Jurassic World
enemies.
revealed thing.
And, seeing as how you're Skyrim's chosen one, you certainly
Or
will
whatever.
never ever
Like,
need
they
to
really
ask
went
to flee
all
when
in on a
facing an
joke
enemy
here.
too
All
powerful
right.
Shoot,
for
your
you.
Skyrim's chosen
No,
one.
a powerful
Here's the
warrior
catch.
like you won't ever need to flee, or even take enough damage to ask,
Hang on.
what is my health? So let's continue. You follow the quest marker to your destination. The cave is dark, gloomy. You take out one of the lit torches you keep in your pack and proceed.
I
Will you
hate
press
Elder
forward on your
Scrolls.
quest?
Close Skyrim.
Will you press forward on your quest?
Exit Skyrim.
Will you press forward on your quest?
Computer, tell me a joke.
Will you press forward
There's
on
no
your
way
quest?
to get out of this as far as we can tell.
Will you press forward on your quest?
No.
You head out on the road.
No!
After running in the
I don't
wrong
know what to
direction for a
do.
time, you
Computer,
arrive at a
please,
cross-
for the love of God, dial 911.
No, don't do that, computer.
Do not do that. Holy.
In one direction is a quaint farm. In the other is a foggy dock. Where would you like to go?
We're gonna get swatted. It's a turd. I don't know how you get out of it other than just unplugging it or waiting for the batteries to die. But hey, thank you so much, everybody that joined along on the epic adventure of Jurassic World Revealed.
It was so good.
We'll keep our eye out. No promises for the future, but we'll keep our eye on Earplay's lineup to see if something as weird as that will ever come out. But all right, thank you so much for watching or listening to this overall episode of the Game Informer Show podcast. Be sure to tune in next Thursday. We'll have a new episode waiting for you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Computer, play the greatest song in the world.
What is this?
What do you mean?
Oh, no, wait. And now that I've heard enough of it, it is the greatest song in the world. Never mind.
Okay. Is this the Jojoba Luminous skin?
No wonder the remaster isn't selling. Leo, what is this?
My friend made a song with Joe Juba.
When did he make this?
Like after Extra Life, at some point.
He
My
just
friends
liked-
started saying Joe Juba all the time.
It's a very dumb Star Wars name, Joe. I hope you're aware of that.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Scale of 1 to 10, though, how high was he when he made this song?
He's sober as a gopher.
Oh my god!
So is this your friend saying Joe Juba and then...
Yeah. Okay. It's called the Joseph Jubilee.
Joe, do you want it as a ringtone?
No?
It's on an album called Promise World by 3D Blast.
All right, check it out at home, everybody. Support Joe Juba's family. I don't know. All right, there we go.
Wow.